How's everyone doing today? Alright, the goal today is to not die. One simple goal. We done died last time and it was not a pretty sight. It caught on fire. Fire was burning on the hot hotel floor. There we go. Okay. Being colorblind makes it very hard. I wake to see a dull gray morning light. It's quiet. Even the pitter-patter of the rain is nowhere to be heard. The sky is still blanketed in clouds despite the rain having ceased. After taking one last deep breath, I heave myself off the bed. I could barely sleep last night. Whenever I thought I might drift off, the scene I witnessed would play out in the back of my mind. A floor dyed red, covered in scattered pieces of... At times like this, possessing memories or clarity of thought can really be a pain. Just when you've got something you'd like to forget, your mind drags you back to relive the experience all over again. This is ridiculous. It was all just a bad dream. I shouldn't be haunted by nightmares when I'm awake. Welcome to my life. Welcome to my life. Exactly. It was all just a dream. I'd like my brain to hurry and forget about it already. There's a knock at the door. The clock tells me it's just before 6 a.m. Who'd come knocking early in the morning? The maid. Please excuse me. Master Shiki. My apologies. I wasn't aware you had awoken. It's fine. Really. Sorry. If I startled you, I went to bed early last night, so I woke up a bit earlier than usual. What about you, though? What brings you here so early? Hisui falls silent and gives me a hesitant look. Upon closer inspection, I realize she's cradling my freshly laundered clothing for the day. Did you bring me my school uniform? Indeed. Allow me to apologize again. You saw something unbecoming. I eye Hisui quizzically. Hisui stays silent. I don't recall saying anything I describe as unbecoming, but I decide not to push the matter. You can just put the clothes over there, then I'll head right over to the parlor after I change. Understood. Please, excuse me. Hisui quietly heads for the door, but stops just short of it. She swiftly turns to face me again. Master Shiki, since you're up early, would you like me to draw you a bath? This early in the morning? Yes, you are awfully dirty. Would you not prefer to wash your body before leaving for school? Now that you mention it, I'm a mess. A hot, hot mess. I mean, being covered in mud and going straight to bed, yeah, I'd want a bath too. Which isn't much of a surprise considering I passed out in the middle of a park yesterday. In the rain. In the mud. You're right. Sorry for the inconvenience, but could you prepare a bath for me? If I jump in this early, I should still have plenty of time to get ready for school. Understood. The bath will be ready for you in 20 minutes. Hisui places the uniform down and leaves the room. It's still only 6 a.m. With nothing else to do, I spend 20 minutes idly staring at the ceiling. I love how he just never does his homework. Like, we never get a point of like, hey, we're doing, what's up, Goo? Yeah, we read this last time. Unfortunately, we are going to have to go through it again until we get it right this time. The thoughts throbbing at the back of my mind are washed away by the water. Seated beside the bathtub, I upend the bucket over my head and take a deep breath as the chilly water soaks through my hair. This was such a horrible dream. Why would I even dream about murdering some women I've never seen before? If I'm greeted by these sorts of dreams purely because I'm unaccustomed to living in the mansion, then I'm dreading what else is to come. I really need to pull myself together. I run the cool water over my head one more time, rubbing cleaning every part of my body. Ouch. My towel just barely grazes my throat before a stinging pain hits me. What is this? I look at my neck in the mirror. Gross. My throat looks red and swollen. I return to my room and change into my uniform. It's only a little past 7 a.m. Still bewildered at how a simple bath can make me feel so much better, I grab my bag and leave the room. It took you 40 minutes to get dressed and shower. Ah! Good morning, Shiki. You're up early today. Kohaku steps out of the parlor just as I came down the stairs. You look refreshed. Did you just get out of the bath? I did, actually. I'm impressed you could tell. I'm not exactly sure how to skip all this. If I knew how to skip all this would be great. But I don't. It wasn't hard to... It wasn't too hard. Your hair's sweet. Plus, I also kind of need a reminder of what all happened. I have no memory. That illness. It's been a week. So, we're basically going to be doing a previously on, because I have no idea. You're even more adorable when you're fresh out of the bath. I have avert my gaze from her light-hearted smile. As I am now, her pure, innocent expression does nothing to make my chest ache. Just wait a moment. I have your breakfast ready for soon. Breakfast? Something edible. Even that word is enough to make me recall the color of blood. The thought leaves me with even less of an appetite than usual. How about I prepare a Western-style breakfast today? No! No! That is heavy! Oh, sure. I'd be happy with whatever you serve me. Right, breakfast. I guess the bath felt so good, I'd forgotten all about it. Really? You didn't eat dinner yesterday, so Hisui and I were wondering whether the growling of your stomach had woken you. No, I just slept for too long, that's all. Don't worry, I had a small appetite ever since I was a kid. It's not unusual for me to skip a meal or two. Oh, now that you mention it, you look rather trim. Are you actually a vegetarian or something like that? Happy Pride. Absolutely. Happy Pride. I am not gay, but I am a member of the LGBTQ community. So I am here to say Happy Pride. It's not like I gotta go out of my way to be one, but I guess I did pretty much stick to vegetables when I lived with the Arimas. When I was discharged from the hospital, the doctor told me to avoid anything that's hard on the digestive system, but I think I would have avoided meat if I hadn't, even if he hadn't told me to. It's Tsukihime. Tsukihime. It is from the creator of the Fate Stay Night universe, and the sequel to the last game we played, Witch on the Holy Night. It basically translates to Moon Princess. And last thing I remember was us murdering he basically murdered a girl in cold blood. But it was all a dream, so thankfully, yay! One way or another, meat just reminds me of death. So you really aren't picky about food. That'll make preparing your meals easier. I'll whip you up something, so please take a seat in the parlor. This is a harem game, I'm going to warn you right now. I understand as much as this is a harem game. I got that far. The fact that there are 5 girls in this game makes it very apparent. But I stop her feeling like I won't be able to pass anything through my throat as things are right now. I mean, I don't blame you. Your throat's kind of swollen. I had trouble swallowing last week. I was just at a cough. A really bad cough. Don't worry about making me anything. I'm going to skip breakfast today and go straight to school. Tell Akiha for me, would you? There's 5 girls. Yeah, it's essentially one guy and 5 girls. There is Akiha, which is the sister. We are not doing Alabama route. There's the 2 maids, Hisui and... Wow, why am I forgetting the girl I was just talking to? There's CL. But as soon as I do, a firm pair of hands grip my arm. And then there's the girl that I know she died last game, but... Alabama route. Bing ding 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 ding. Yeehaw! Cheeky. I wasn't expecting that. Kohaku looks angrier than I've ever seen her. What are you saying? Have you seen yourself in the mirror today? You're a twig. I think I had a look when I was taking a bath. There's you saw yourself in the mirror, and then there's you took a look. Taking a look is realizing, I need to lose some weight. No. Witch on the Holy Night is the game before this. We did that full series, and that was an amazing game, and we absolutely are going to be watching the anime when that movie comes out. It is genuinely a fantastic story. No way! If you had even one peek at yourself, you wouldn't be saying such things. Are you calling me fat? I'm not that fat. Kohaku! That's who I'm talking to. How did I forget Kohaku? Kohaku is seriously mad. Now that I think about it, when I glanced at myself in the mirror earlier, I didn't just look a little pale, I was ashen white. So you just didn't take that in fully. Got it. Hey, you don't have to worry too much about that. I'm naturally pale, so my complexion just looks worse when compared to other people. That's no excuse. You'll never grow big and healthy skipping breakfast if you don't have an appetite. Then I'll just make you something that's light on the stomach. So please go to the dining room. Sure. There we go. That should work. Kohaku the Gremlin. Right now, she is the most adorable character in the entire game. I love her as a character. Her and Hisui are fantastic characters. I guess there's no fighting it. I'm going to do one thing, actually. This is mainly for post-production. There we go. I gotta fix it in post. I still don't really feel like having breakfast, but if Kohaku is this insistent, then I have no other choice. I wouldn't fight with her. When Mom says you're having breakfast, you're having breakfast. Alice is absolutely S tier. She is 100% the best character in MaHoYo. I mean, it's absolute. Stoic and silent type are absolutely great. It is absolutely okay to enjoy the stoic silent type as characters. Good morning, Shiki. Are you feeling better today? I can't say for certain, but Akiha sounded a little reserved just then. I'd wager that her concern for my well-being might be overriding her usual firmness. Forgive me if I don't believe that she actually gives a fuck. Morning. I guess I'm okay, all things considered. I take my seat at the table. I'll go and prepare a few dishes that are easy to digest. Please wait a moment. Kohaku leaves the room in a flurry. She probably headed for the kitchen in the mansion west wing. Which leaves me alone with the 2 others in the dining room, the unusually restrained Akiha and Hisui, who has taken up her spot against the wall. It's incredibly awkward, to say the least. I mean, a silent breakfast is awkward, but also peaceful. Depends on how you view it. Shiki, I'd like to ask you about yesterday. Is it true that you fainted in the park? Can I invoke the fifth? Can I invoke the fifth? I don't trust a single thing. You took my allowance last time. Yeah, I don't really remember all that much about it, but that's what Kohaku and Hisui told me, so I must have, I guess. Oh, honestly, don't talk about it like it's someone else's problem. Excuse me, bitch? You know full well that you have a weak constitution. If you ever feel ill, you ought to contact the mansion at once. We'll send someone to pick you up from school. What am I, in elementary school? I can at least figure out how to get home when I don't feel well, so that won't be necessary. That is a lie, and we both know that was a bold-faced lie. You done passed out at a park. Yet you didn't make it home on your own, so then, by your own admission, that make you little more than a child. 5 minutes. I want 5 minutes with this girl to teach her some manners. Yesterday was an exception. It rarely ever gets that bad. It's not like my body is actually weak, it's just the chronic anemia. There's no reason for you to be fussing over me. Yesterday was a matter of just dead-ass poor timing. Dad, do you even listen to yourself when you speak? We're talking about your body here. What am I to do if my own brother drops dead on his way back home? The same thing you did when you didn't have a brother. Akiha is seriously mad. I'm a little surprised that she cares this deeply. Your behavior is too thoughtless. So please take care of yourself a little better. It's not like I don't already do that, you know. I don't join in on any sports, and I do everything the doctor tells me to. What more can I even do to take care of myself short of getting admitted to a full-time care facility? Get admitted to a full-time care facility. It's not hard. Drop out of school, stay in the mansion, you're wealthy. You could live off the interest of your savings account alone. Honestly, I'd be tempted to arrange it if I could. I'd buy a facility on some isolated island, put you there till you learn to reflect on your behavior. 5 minutes. The amount of time I need with this woman is 5 minutes. I can teach her some manners. Despite her pouty, averted gaze, Akiha says something truly frightening in a completely casual tone. The scariest part of all that is for her, what she's talking about isn't out of the question. I'll let it slide this once, since the whole affair resolved itself without any further issues. But I won't look so kindly on it next time, do you hear? After giving me a piece of her mind, Akiha's temper seems to cool a little. Throughout the entire exchange, Hisui watches us like a statue. Care to weigh in, Hisui, please? The awkward silence is just the worst. There's still some time before Kohaku returns with my breakfast. Until then, I am going to talk to Kohaku. Akiha, talk about Kohaku. Yes, what about her? I was just thinking that she's a good person. She got pretty angry with me when I met her in the entrance hall earlier, and told me I wouldn't grow if I skipped my meals. That sounds quite like her. I was never scolded like that when I lived with the Arimas, so it was a bit of a shock. I got a feeling I won't be able to skip any breakfast when she's around. No. No, you will not. Not that you should. You're anemic, so skipping breakfast was never a good idea in the first place. Honestly, I never really noticed a correlation between my dizzy spells and my food intake, but I decided it is in my best interest to just nod my head without any further protest. I was 85% certain she was about to pull a gun out and shoot me. I was 85% certain I was gonna get shot by the sister. I'm back with breakfast! Rice porridge with plum shiso and eggs. All ready to serve. You had me at plum shiso and eggs. Can we skip the rice porridge? Kohaku carefully pushes the food court into the... Guess that's all the time we have to talk today. Until next time, friends. I better shout down quick if I want to make it to school in time. Please, you ought to refrain from using such coarse language in the future. Aw, you're back to scolding me again? I liked it better when you were all worried about me. At what point was she worried about you? It sounded more like she was disciplining a child for making dumb decisions. I'd also like you to refrain from spouting such nonsense, whether you think so or not. I was never worried in the slightest. That's the sister we know. Yep, that sounds like her. Akiha turns away from me with a huff. I give Kohaku a fond smile as I pull the bowl of porridge closer and take the spoonful. Have a good day, Master Shiki. Hisui accompanies me to the main gate as usual. She looks so worried, however, I notice a hesitant stare. I watch as she takes a short breath like she's struggling to find the right words. Master Shiki, might I ask what happened last night? I'd like to know myself, if that's an option. It was nothing, really. I felt a little unwell at school yesterday, so I left early, and then on my way home, you saw a very pretty girl, and you decided to cut her into 17 pieces. I dropped by the park and catch my breath. But I guess Akiha was right that I took the situation too lightly. I'll be more careful from now on. I don't mean to suggest you have done something wrong. It's just you seem to be under some great strain this morning. Please, take care of yourself on the way to school. It must have been hard for her to confront me like this. She sees me off with a deep bow. I love her design. More and more school uniforms dot the street as I get closer to school. It's 7:45 a.m. Everyone is ambling along, probably because there's still plenty of time left till homeroom. Maid supremacy! Yes, maid supremacy! I am all for maid outfits. They are just absolutely fantastic designs. My pace is just as leisurely as that of the other students. I don't have to worry about being late. In fact, I don't have a care in the world. I start my day like any other. The school gates are just on the other side of the crossing. The light turns red, so I stop at the curb. I can see the school perimeter wall across the street. Protected by the guardrails lining the sidewalk, a steady stream of students heads for the gate. There's no one here but Soya High students at this time of day. Or at least there shouldn't be. And yet, through the rush of passing cars, I catch a glimpse of white. Oh, right, she lived. I forgot you lived. Right. Fuck. It's her. Ethereal, white, and undeniable. Another top-tier design. Golden hair shimmering like the sun. Long, thin eyebrows framing crimson eyes. Though I've only ever seen her once before, I could never mistake her. But this isn't possible. Yesterday, I cut her to to pieces with my own hands. No, that can't be. That was just a terrible dream. Hisui Akihai Kohaku told me. Nothing of the sort. That's simply what I wanted to believe. But it wasn't a dream. It wasn't a hallucination. It was all real. I killed her. I killed her. I killed her. I, without question, killed her. But if I did, then why? Why is she here? Right here in front of my eyes. Right, this is fucking Twilight. We're in fucking Twilight. And I am Kristen Stewart. The traffic light turns green. The students surrounding me start to cross the street. I'm the one who hangs behind, standing motionless on my side of the road. She sits there on the guardrail, casually swinging her legs back and forth, back and forth. It almost seems like she's waiting for something or someone. I have no way of telling how long she's been waiting, but her expression is relaxed and unassuming. Is she really waiting for someone? Her restless movements betray a nervous excitement, as if she were waiting on a lover. Hold on. She's waiting. Who is she waiting for? Isn't it obvious? Isn't it incredibly obvious? I do the same thing. Anyone would. If I were killed by someone, if I could get good, I'd go straight after the person who did it. I've got a terrible feeling about this. A chill crawls its way up my back like a centipede. It feels as though my spine wants to burst out through my mouth. The woman in white looks my way. Our eyes meet. We're thinking the same thing. Everything is exactly what I was afraid of. No, this is all just a coincidence. It has to be. There's no reason to feel like this. We've never met. No connection exists between the two of us. She's just a stranger that looks like her. She's got to be waiting for someone else. The only other explanation is that this moment I'm experiencing is a nightmare. If it weren't, then there'd be no way a dead person could be alive and walking around. Not after being dismembered like that. So why is she looking at me with that wicked smile on her face? That satisfied grin of someone who has just spotted their killer. As if to say, I've been waiting for you. The woman pushes herself off the guardrail and raises her hand in greeting. She lightly brushes her hair back as she turns to face me. Oh, hiya! What the hell? It's just a bad dream. The traffic light blinks red. Don't come any closer. Don't. The woman waltzes through the oncoming traffic without even flinching once. She's less than 3 meters away now. I don't know whether it's a dream or reality. I told you. Don't come any closer. I shout at her, but it changes nothing. I've got to escape. I have to get away from the woman in white. I run with all my might. Without a shred of shame or concern for my reputation, I run, pushing and shoving my way through passerbyers as my feet strike the pavement. My breath grows ragged, and my heart pounds and screams for me to stop. But I can't stop running. Dude, you're gonna have a heart attack with your condition and you running like that, honestly. My face must look unrecognizable, etched with such exhaustion and pain. My vision gets distorted by the tears stinging my eyes. My throat burns, my lungs squeeze, the twist to wring out my breath. I'm shaking uncontrollably. It feels like the tendons in my hands might tear from the convulsions. My feet hit the ground haphazardly, legs moving without the time to think where they land. Each step sends a numbing shock up my thighs. That's fine. Even if my legs tear themselves to shreds, that's fine. Just if I stop running here, I might lose my mind. You're gonna lose more than your mind. I look over my shoulder. I can see the woman in white casually coming my way. All doubt vanishes from my mind. She's following me. The woman I killed is following me. That alone is plenty of reason for me to lose my mind. My heart feels like it might explode, but I ignore it and keep running. Whenever I look around, she's still there, sauntering behind me as if she were taking a simple stroll, while I keep fleeing with all my might. I tilt my head to the skies. My arms feel heavy. All sensation has long abandoned my legs. I'm running faster than I ever have in my life, so why can't I shake her? Why can't I run her leisurely pace? I'm completely out of breath. I don't even know how many kilometers I've run at full speed. And she's still behind me, walking. With all the effort of someone out for a stroll, but she never fails to lag behind. Like the image of a ghost seared into my proverbial rear-view mirror. There's nothing funny about the situation, but I can't help but laugh. A stream of laughter bursts out. I keep running. My body screams out that it might collapse if I die and continue, but still, I keep running. Honestly, there's something primal about laughing when your life's about to end. There's something primal and funny about it when you're in terror. I don't know what it is, but even when I'm in terror, I laugh. It's clear why I have to run. The second she catches me, she'll kill me. I don't have any basis for thinking that, but I know better than anyone that I'd be fooling myself if I tried to laugh it off. I don't need reasons or evidence. It's just how the world works, to reap what I've sown. An eye for an eye, a life for a life. Since I killed her, she now has the right to kill me. It's as simple as that. It's a simple fact that my life will end the second I get caught. I fall sprawling pathetically on the ground. I didn't even stumble on trip. My limbs just couldn't carry me a single step further. I crawl across the ground to the wall. With my palms against the stone, I will myself to get back up on my feet, but it's no use. The second I lift myself up off the ground, my knees give out, and I fall back down with a thud. I can no longer move my body, not even an inch. I throw my head backwards and wheeze for air. It hurts. I can't get enough oxygen at all. My brain is starving. I can't think. I can't make sense of what I'm doing. Why am I doing this? Why? How is the woman I killed still alive? I cut her down perfectly thoroughly. I massacred her in the most extreme way possible. So how could she be waiting outside of my school? How could she just sit there and smile at me when I arrived? I killed her. I definitely killed her. That's right. I definitely killed her. I definitely killed her, and yet, why? Huh? Are we finished playing tag already? The sound of footsteps comes closer. A subdued noise that echoes through the alley. The woman shrugs her shoulder as if disappointed and speaks to me as I lie slumped against the wall. Hello again. I must thank you for taking care of me yesterday. She faces me with a carefree smile. feel like I'm going crazy. I don't know what to make of her expression. Still wearing that smile, she brazenly enters the closed-off alley. Oh, and you forgot this. Rather sloppy of you to leave something so incriminating behind. A black object lands in front of me with a light thud. My bag. I hadn't even noticed I'd left it yesterday. No. Hold on. What did she just say? Incriminating. Did she just say incriminating? Shit, I've got to get out of here. I urge my legs to move, only to push my back harder into a concrete wall blocking my way. You ran into a dead end, motherfucker. You done fucked up. Huh? I thought we were done with that. This is a dead-end alleyway. Besides, it's not like anyone else is around to get in our way. The woman looks oddly cheerful. A dead end with no one around? I look around in a panic, then curse myself for my stupidity. Why the hell did I decide to flee here of all places? It's like I'm begging to be killed. That sure took a while. 18 hours. But I finally caught you. The woman takes another step towards me. What? You... Yes? You're supposed to be... Dead? Yes, you did kill me yesterday. I'm so happy you remembered. It's the response I least wanted to hear, regardless of whether this is real or not. Bullshit. Dead people don't just walk around. Well, sure. But do you really need to be this surprised? I just revived after you killed me. That's all. The woman says it as if it's nothing, coming ever closer. The space between us shrinks steadily. You revived? I sit in a daze as I digest what she told me. She came back to life. Does she mean she came back from the brink of death? What did she go to a doctor and undergo an operation to bring herself back? Don't screw with me. There's no human on Earth who could come back from being chopped into pieces like that. Yeah, good thing I'm not human then. I love how she just casually says that, honestly. She's like, yeah, I'm not human. She just throws it out like, yep. I'm not human. It's a good thing, too. Her words are too simple to interpret any other way. I'm not human. That's what the woman just told me. You're not human. Obviously. What kind of human manages to regenerate all by her lonesome after being cut into pieces? No human could. That much is a fact. If someone could, they might look like a human, but no way they'd be considered the same anymore. Someone who can die and come back to life. A being that doesn't care if it ceases to breathe. One that can recover fully, even after being cut to pieces. Something that may look human, but definitely can't be called one. Huh. It appears that the true form of the woman in front of me. I try to laugh at the situation, but my throat is too wrecked to let any sound through. What is this? It isn't funny enough to be a joke. And even if it were a joke, it all fits together a little too well. I mean, she's got a point. If she isn't human, then it could actually be possible for her to come back to life even after being massacred in such a way. My mind finally starts to settle down. I recall the words of the one who saved me long ago. First, I need to take a good look. Then, I need to think everything through. That's the type of situation I'm in right now. If you say you're not human, then what the hell are you? Me? We're usually called vampires. To put it simply, I'm a monster that drinks the blood of people. That much better. Her being a vampire makes it all of this easier to understand. Even I know what a vampire is. They may just be stuff of legends, but I doubt there's anyone out there who hasn't heard of them. Bram Stoker wrote a famous book about them once. In Western fiction, they are often described as undying monsters in human form. Sometimes they're also described as bloodsuckers, which is what they are in a nutshell. They're monsters that drink blood, so of course they're not human. Right. A vampire. It sounds so ridiculous, just saying it out loud nearly makes me burst to a mad laugh. I'm going to get killed any moment now, yet I feel incredibly calm about it. What can I say? I just don't have the energy to care anymore. Not that it would do me any good. She seems satisfied as she peers down my pathetic figure. Wait, I thought vampires weren't able to walk around in broad daylight. No, never mind. That's really not something for me to be focused on right now. No, it absolutely is. I'd have a billion questions right now. So, what business does a monster have with me? Such a mean term. She's a vampire, not a monster. I blurt out the words in a fit of frustration. The woman looks taken aback for a moment. She crosses her arms in front of her chest, looking me over with a small pout. Seriously? You already forgot what you did to me yesterday? No, he didn't. He just said that. You kill me, a complete stranger, in such a barbaric way, before we're even exchanged a single word. And now you're asking me what business I have with you. You must be awfully used to murdering people. She looks more baffled than angry. But I could say I'm equally baffled. I mean, the woman I killed with my own two hands is standing right in front of me, grumbling that I had the gall to kill her. Hey, are you even listening, you homicidal maniac? I'm listening. I just need a second to process how I could possibly be this unlucky. So sorry, but could you be quiet for a sec? I need something to blame. Otherwise, I'll end up destroying myself. I've learned just how bad my luck is, though it's a little late for that. For whatever reason, was overcome by the urge to kill this woman. So I rode the urge till I finished the job. Everything I can recall is fuzzy, so I convinced myself that it was just a dream. But it wasn't, and the person I killed wasn't even human. I've come to accept that I'm strange and defective, but compared to, well, all of this, I'm actually on the normal side. Just needed to change the chat a moment. Go from top chat to live chat. I break out in laughter. But it's not all bad news. If the woman I killed really has come back to life, that means I haven't killed anyone. I might have performed the act of killing, yet she's still alive and well. It's still a felony. It's still a felony. Main characters of these games love to commit felonies. They're all felons in some way, shape, or form. At the very least, that's something for me to take comfort in. That's right. If I didn't kill anyone, then everything might be fine. Shikitono could actually go back to his normal day-to-day life. No, you cannot! Sure, in exchange for that, I'm now being hunted down by a deranged lunatic, but that's still better than being a murderer. You need to get your priorities in order. That's all I'm saying. Priorities in order, please. It's still a case of bad luck, but it's bad luck on the very best kind. Though the whole situation might be ridiculous, at least I'm not the only one who's crazy. Oh, honey, that building left a long time ago. All right, I've calmed down a bit. You've got some things to say to me, right? Air it all out then. I have plenty I'd like to tell you, but you sure are a strange guy. What's with the attitude when you're face to face with a vampire? Look, I know it's bad, but I'm doing everything just to keep it together. Otherwise, I probably would have killed myself twice over by now. If she's gonna kill me, I wish she'd just get it over with. I've already dealt with my body giving out on me for 7 years now. No matter how terrible the act, I've prepared to recognize that it really happened. And again, never in my wildest dream did I think I'd have to deal with a situation like this in the first place. Woman gives me a drawn-out look. Her gaze is sharp, but I don't sense any hostility. This is all so backwards. Isn't it natural to want an eye for an eye? Shouldn't she be itching to pay me back? Why are you staring at me like that? You came to get your revenge, right? So just... You're right. I ought to want to kill you for what you did to me. If that's what you want me to do, I'll happily oblige, but otherwise I'll have to pass. It's just not worth it. Her eyes are firmly fixated on me. Tell me, do you regret it? Yes! Yes, we do! Yes, we do. That's kind of why we're in the shithole we are in right now. We fucked up, we regret it, and now we are dealing with the consequences of our actions. My eyes widened in surprise. Her words just sounded out of place. I asked whether you regret killing me. If you feel remorse over it, then I might just have it in my heart to forgive you. You seem like you'd be pretty bad at lying. For a human, anyway. Do I regret it? Yeah. If you're willing to give me an apology from the bottom of your heart, then I'm good with that. I can't believe it. Not just the part where my murder victim is telling me she'll forgive me. I can't believe how amazingly gentle she sounds. Come on. An honest question deserves an honest answer. Hurry up. Tell me. Do you regret it or not? We can't continue this conversation unless you answer. Do I regret it? That goes without saying. I try to speak, but something holds me back. You can't. If you say something now, you won't be able to continue living in ignorant bliss. Oh, ignorant bliss left. Oh, that thing moved down the street, fucking out of the country. It got its passport. It was like, I'm going off to England now. Bye, Felicia. I am gone. Keep pretending this was a dream. Keep pretending you didn't notice. Keep pretending like to be normal. It tells me. You... what? My throat tightens. The fear begs me not to speak. But... abso-fucking-lutely. But I can't run from this. It's something I have to face. I think someone who believed in me told me something similar once. If you truly want to live a normal life, then face your own sins. Face your own actions. Never, ever look away. Fucking Aoko. Fucking Aoko. Of course I regret what I did. I mean, I killed someone. I wring my confession from my chest. As soon as the first words spill past my lips, there's no stopping them. I finally accepted my own failings. I killed this woman. I killed her with no mercy, for no reason. For my own gratification. I'm sorry I did it. I'm sorry for everything. And if you'd let me, if I could be permitted such a cheap gesture, then I'd apologize 1,000 times over. But there wouldn't be any point. I can never change what I did to you, so... what I did was unforgivable. That she was somehow resurrected is no excuse. Shikitono murdered the very woman he sees before him. I'm guilty of a violation of the highest order. Of an act of unfathomable violence. So, if you want revenge, I won't stop you. I wasn't running because I was scared of you, I was running because I was scared of what I'd done. Slumped against the alley wall, I confessed my sins to the empty air. It's as if I've finally woken up. I've spent the past day in a few... I'm still not sure that's a word. In a fragile, transient dream. In a brief refuge from the reality of my own depravity. But now, at last, it's time to pay the piper.
see. You're a good person then. I look up at her in surprise. She's smiling. She might call herself a vampire, but her expression is perfectly sweet and honest. I'm going to sit back. Okay. I'll have you help me out. Huh? Her smile is different now, more meaningful, less innocent. Help? She wants me to help her? Hold on, what do you mean by that? Call it compensation for me forgiving you. I'll need some help killing the vampire that's taken up residence in this town. I don't understand any of this. Wait, compensation? You're saying you'll forgive me just like that? And what do you mean killing the vampire? Didn't you just say that you were a vampire? You've got it all wrong. I'm a vampire too, yeah? But the vampire I'm talking about isn't me, obviously. You live here, right? Then you must have heard about the recent serial killings. Well, I guess. The sudden callback to a familiar news story snaps me out of my worked-up state. Somehow, the strange circumstances around those murders seem more real than whatever is happening to me here. I heard the killer already killed a whole bunch of victims, and that they all had their bodies drained of blood. The moment I say it, I suddenly realize what the woman is getting at. A very simple conclusion. That's the vampire I'm talking about. You ramble about me killing you, but the one I really want to kill is that vampire. That serial killer is an enemy of your kind too, right? My mind is running circles trying to keep up with the influx of new data. Sure, I get the basics, I understand what she's saying, but on some fundamental level, I feel like all common sense has truly left the building. Seriously, humans are so inefficient. You all grumble about how this must be the work of a vampire, but I don't see anyone actually going out to kill it. You're like a bunch of squirrels too afraid to run from a forest fire. I mean, vampires aren't supposed to exist. Dissatisfied with my response, her lips pursed into a pout. Right. The mysterious creature in front of me did just say she was a vampire as well. Doesn't change the fact that they aren't supposed to exist. So, what then? You came to this town to take care of the vampire serial killer for us? And you want me, of all people, to somehow help you? Right. I was here to kill the vampire, but someone came along and ruined those plans. Yesterday, some total stranger barged into my place and murdered me for absolutely no reason. Talk about rotten luck. I walked into a perfect ambush and got chopped into 17 pieces before I had a chance to fight back. What kind of person stalks someone they've never met before, kills them, and then leaves feeling all satisfied? Isn't that terrible? Cruel even? He must have been one hell of a ruthless murderer. Ugh. Shit, yeah, that pretty much was what I was like yesterday. As much as I'd love to refute her, I am fresh out of ammunition. There is no argumenting that. There is zero argument to that. I honestly was planning to kill you at first, but it was all I could think about when I was restoring my body. I never have been so humiliated. Even worse, it took me over 80% of my power to come back to life. And you know what was the worst part? It really hurt. It hurt so much I thought I'd lose my mind, but then it would hurt so bad that it'd snap me back to reality. Do you have any idea what it's like to spend an entire night teetering back and forth between two types of pain that extreme? Can I invoke the fifth? Can I invoke the fifth? I'm sorry, but as a human, I don't think I could even begin to imagine what that was like. That hate kept me going as I searched for you. I even forgot all about the vampire I was supposed to be hunting. With your uniform as my only lead, I did some sniffing around until I figured out which school you went to. That was about 2 hours ago. I considered waiting until nightfall to catch you, but I didn't want to drag it out a second longer, so I just decided to wait out here. So that's why she was waiting for me outside my school. After all that agony, she must have been dying to kill me. But if that's the case, I don't get it. Why forgive me when you were that angry? Good question. I guess I had enough time to cool my head. I used so much of my power already, I figured it'd be more efficient to keep you around as a makeshift meat shield instead of giving you a squishy-squashy death. Sorry, did you just say something horrifying? Yes! Yes, she did! Add that to the list of things that have gone on in this list. Huh? Did I? You said you want to use me as your meat shield? That is the least horrifying thing she said so far at this point. I'm just saying. She also adds some pretty unfortunate adjectives to her description. Isn't that the obvious course of action, though? I mean, I may have forgiven you, but it's just the emotional stuff. You still committed an act of murder. It has nothing to do with feelings. The only way to atone through actions. Got that? You make it sound obvious, but it's not. No, it absolutely makes way too much sense. Like, way more sense than it realistically should. I expect her to just kill me instead, but being asked to be her shield feels like a total different kind of compensation. I can't exactly pinpoint what the difference is, but I damn sure have a bad feeling about this. I can't tell whether you're being sincere, or if you're just messing with me. Just to be clear, you did kill me. I know you can't even fathom it, but it takes a lot of strength to revive after that kind of mess. It wouldn't have been such a big deal if you just kill me the normal way. But I've never seen cats like that. I couldn't get the wounds to reattach, so I had to rebuild my whole body from scratch. I have way more questions, some of which consist of, what does that look like exactly? Are we talking swamp fire, like Greek rollout, or are we talking like Deadpool? Like, what exactly kind of revive are we talking about here? Because I have way too many questions about that. Because of that, it took nearly every ounce of my strength I had to come back to life. She puffs up her cheeks in anger. It's rather comical, but oddly fitting. I guess she'd forgotten about her anger up till now. But explaining the situation is making her relive her fury. So right now, I'm weak. I'll be fine after a couple of nights of rest, but if I'm attacked during that time, it won't be able to lift a hand. So to stop them. So that's why you'll be able to be. That's why you'll be my meat shield. Says you. I don't get any input. No, you do not. You get zero say in this. And it's all your fault to begin with. So it's only logical that you help me out. Are you telling me you don't actually regret your actions after all? I'm trapped by her sincere gaze. Ugh. She's so unfair. All this talk about regret or the course of action aside, I'd really rather she didn't look at me with those eyes. If you're calling yourself a monstrous vampire, you really shouldn't be going around staring people down with such pure, honest eyes. I clamped down on the feeling rising in my chest. I regret my actions. I want to atone for them too. Yet my heart keeps warning me that, as a human, I should not be teaming up with this woman. Without any answer at hand, I idly raise my gaze. Huh? Oh, this again, right? Fuck! In that moment, I see a different pair of glowing eyes staring back at me. My entire body tenses up again. Strength returns to my overtaxed legs, and I force myself up from my seated position to a crouch. Wow. Reading a lot out loud is very, very draining on the oxygen, and it makes me need to yawn. So we're going to take a moment, and I'm going to catch my breath. The woman following my gaze turns to look at what has appeared in the entrance of the alley. Behind her, a puma is a creature more out of place in the human city than the vampire in front of me. This woman looks perfectly calm, but I'm struggling to wrap my head around the situation. It's a puma. Probably escaped from the local zoo. It's not a hard concept. It also translates to get the fuck out. That's a panther. I know that much. Even a child would be able to tell what the animal is. But you wouldn't see one outside a picture book or a cage in a zoo. And somehow, here I am, experiencing just how terrifying the beast is firsthand, all without anything to protect me. It stands on 4 lean, powerful limbs. Muscle that seems as supple as rubber, yet hard as steel. Its form is far removed from that of a human being. This is a creature built from the sole purpose of hunting its prey. Simply seeing its awakened primal instincts that should have been cast away in the Stone Age. We might both be living creatures, but this panther is in another league. Its superior ability leaves me breathless. It's not something I can put into words. This creature I can't coexist in the same world, much less communicate with one another. The Black Panther's body measures over 1 meter in length. Even a dog that size could easily take down a human. And here it is, eyeing me and the woman in white, vicious claws, fangs, and all, with barely 5 meters between us. Hey, is that a friend of yours? What do you think? I can't help but snap back at something so crazy. I'm an idiot. As if taking my voice as a signal, the panther leaps in our direction. No, that's not right. It's running, but it's going so fast I thought it had leaped at us instead. I can't do anything. The black blur's fangs will sink into my shoulder before I even have the time to process its movements. I can see it. I'm keenly aware of how this will all end 1 second from now, but the thought of dodging or moving away doesn't even register. But the blow comes from the side instead. The woman in white shoves me away before the shadowy creature has the chance to bite me. An effortless swipe of her hand is all it takes. At her touch, I'm flung across the alley as easily as someone might throw a ball, and I go crashing into the wall. Ouch! Reminder, I'm a squishy human! Ouch. I grit my teeth as I slam into the wall, back first. Pain shoots up through my spine. What are you? Not now. Look straight. The woman shouts at me. I look up, expecting the beast to have crashed into the wall behind me. Instead, having lost sight of its target, the panther reacts instantly by spinning in the air and planting its feet onto the wall. From there, it leaps at the opposite wall. The creature latches itself to the side of the building. Just as it seems to have found its footing, it turns its glowing gaze at me once more. My breath is still caught after the chaos. The panther pushes off against the wall and leaps at me like lightning falling from the sky. The woman places herself into its trajectory, deflecting the oncoming bolt with a single hand. She's even faster than the panther, her slender frame even more graceful. It's frightening. Unnerving, even. Hey now, can't you see I was here first? I'll have to kill you if you don't mind your manners, you know. The woman's disposition hasn't changed a bit. As if heeding her threat, the panther cautiously backs away. There's around 3 meters of space between the two of them now. The panther keeps its distance. It must have realized the difference in their abilities during their brief clash. To a human, that panther That panther is no doubt a monster, a beast that can easily slay any human it meets. Anyone got a freedom stick? But that woman is on a whole other level, a monster among monsters, a demon that can easily slay any monster it meets. The panther sits absolutely still as it observes the woman. Even I can tell how badly outclassed it is. The woman must seem like some insurmountable wall when viewed from the eyes of the apex predator. I've got business. If you've got business with me, I'll deal with you later. So for now, the atmosphere around the woman changes. The panther hadn't rattled her in the slightest, but the very air around her seemed sharper than before. People. There's no mistaking it. A group of strangers is making its way down the alley. They're walking at leisurely pace through the dimly lit back street, ambling right in our direction. Stop! Get away from here! There's a panther on the... I try to tell them a panther's on the loose. But as I do, red currents flash across my vision. I rub my eyes beneath my glasses. Just now, Right! Fucking Walking Dead zombies. Those things crawled out of the pits of hell. They keep coming. They possess neither the feral instincts nor the pride of the panther. They lurch forward, completely disregarding the woman in white, as well as the fact that another few steps forward will doom them. But why would they? These creatures have no brain to think, nor a heart to feel fear. They aren't alive. They can't be. No, they're absolutely not alive. And can we get them off my screen? Thanks! I hate it! They're engulfed in flame, black smoke billowing from their eyes and mouth, and yet they keep moving forward. They're dead. They have to be. Their hands are outstretched as if they were seeking salvation but from their fingertips drip a thick oil. The drops of oil splash into tongues of flames as they hit the ground. Even from the distance, I realize that the oil-like substance must be their stagnant blood. Is this a new type? The woman in white focuses her attention on the things before her. 2 of the 3 cadavers reach for her. The last one turns in my direction and leers at me with its burning sockets as I stand there dumbstruck. It's got me. The panther uses its fatally short window to strike. It's even faster than the last time it leaped. This time, I didn't even register it moving. The panther bears its weight against me, as if trying to push me over, and runs its incisors down my neck. A tightness grips in my throat. There's a constricting sensation at the nape of my neck. It's not my skin, though. The collar of my school uniform is being bitten and pulled. I'm pushed against the wall again. I've been dragged into a dark corner of the alley. The panther roughly presses me into a heaped pile of garbage. You asshole! Don't treat me like trash! What am I even doing? I'm berating a panther as it has me pinned down. But for whatever reason, it decides not to follow through with its attack. Perhaps the beast realized it has bigger problems to deal with. Like the woman in white and the 3 frickin' spawns of Satan. Hidden behind some of the waste, I sit up and peer over at the woman. The smoldering dead are brave enough to get within 3 meters of the woman, a feat even the panther dared not try. And the moment they do, she doesn't give a fuck! The very air wails in agony. The burst of wind from the woman's arm slicing through the air cuts through her targets like a bulldozer, leaving not a trace of the 3 bodies. She's just like, bitch, get the fuck out of my way. I've got 18 other things I'm dealing with, and I don't have time for your bullshit! My head hurts. Feels like those like tiny thorns are bouncing within my eye sockets. A painful red sensation jabbing at me like knives, like it were trying to deny all I just seen. Yeesh. I used even more of my power. With a resigned shrug of her shoulders, the woman turns to me. She doesn't look like she holds the slightest interest in the corpses she just eradicated. This is all because you spent so long dragging your feet, you know. If you had just hurried and made up your mind, they wouldn't have found us. The woman boldly walks over to me as I sit half-stunned on the ground. The panther is long gone. Must have taken one look at the scene just now and decided it wanted none of it. That the woman was simply far too strong. Hey, what was that? My headache is concentrated behind my eyes. The pain searing through my cranium seems to be throwing off whatever part of my brain controls my speech. What the hell is this woman? Huh? Just some regular zombies, obviously. I love how she's just oh so casual about stuff like that. It's like, oh yeah, just some zombies. Things I just rip apart on a Monday morning, Maybe on a Tuesday if I'm feeling fancy. And if I'm feeling really, really fancy, definitely on a Wednesday. But never on Thursday. Thursdays are for goblins. They're familiars used by vampires, though these ones were a little unusual. It's my first time seeing zombies like that, actually. Not these zombies. I'm talking about you. The sharp singing in my head, begging for some sense of normalcy. She's a monster. The out-of-place panther and those impossible flaming corpses, even they appear perfectly grounded when compared to her. Though a flick of her arm, this woman made a gust of wind with the power of a tornado. Such a monster couldn't coexist among us frail humans for a second. Me? I told you I was a vampire, didn't I? Oh, wait. Do you not know what a vampire is? I thought that sort of thing would be common knowledge here. For such a powerful monster, she's pretty dense. But I can't take advantage of this window to force strength into my trembling limbs. That fight just now led her away from the alley entrance. If I run with all my might, I may just have a shot at escaping. I take a deep breath. Just as I'm about to start running, I catch a glimpse of her face. For some reason, I suddenly feel calm again. Hey, what's wrong? Are you injured? Please, like I get injured. I just never thought I'd be hit by something that slow. But this isn't good. The way things are now, I definitely need you to act as my shield. What? That's right, we were just talking about that nonsense. Earlier I thought she might have been speaking metaphorically about the whole meat shield thing. But now, I'm not so sure anymore. She sounds dead serious. She actually wants me to act as her shield against panthers and flaming corpses and who knows what else. Are you out of your mind? No! She's probably the most sane person in this room right now. Did you just Did you see me just now? What do you think I can do, huh? You'd clearly be far better off on your own. Not at all. After that, I'm really running on empty. I guess you could say I'm giving it all I've got just to stay alive right now. Is that how it is? It doesn't look like it at all, but sure. Honestly, I'm half glad that what I just saw was a last-ditch effort and not something she could just shake out of her sleeve at any time. But that's not the issue here. That is absolutely an issue. If that was her weak, what's her powerful? I'm not sure I want to see that. I don't know what to tell you. If you're giving it all you've got, I'll do what I can. But you need to be realistic. Whatever you think of me, I'm not strong enough to fight any of those things off. I'm sorry, but I can't be your shield. Oh, please. You killed me once already. Why even bother lying at this point? I did kill you, but that was, when I killed her, it was like I lost myself. I would help her if I could, but the kind of help she's asking for is way beyond anything I can do. In that case, I guess I'll just ask you to stand guard over me as I sleep. You can do that much, right? I can't help but feel myself weaken before those eyes. I'm absolutely helping this girl. I can't say no to her request. I killed her. It's my fault she's weak enough to even seek help from some nobody like me. Besides, we might have just only met. But I get the impression she's not a bad person. Well, what will it be? Are you going to tell me that you can't help out because I'm a vampire? You're finally catching on, huh? Please don't look at me with those eyes. The guilt will eat me alive if you keep doing that. But I guess I'm already in too deep. I won't be able to sleep at night if I just pretend none of this ever happened. I already know I'll regret this later. But even so, we're going after that serial killer that's been terrorizing this town anyway, right? I should at least try and do something that helps to help put a stop to that. I do live here after all. It's better than turning a blind eye to her stupidly sincere gaze. So you're telling me that... Yeah, I'll do it. I'm not going to be your shield, but I can stand guard, sure. There she goes again. What's with that expression? If this was a game, I'd be calling foul. Just look at her, coming back from the dead, creating tornadoes, and now this. Yeah, great. We have a deal then. She extends a hand to me. Guess I can finally introduce myself. I'm Arcued Brew. Actually, you can just call me Arcued. I do have a full name, but it's a bit long. I would love to know it, but right now you are still Ark. I'm what's called a true ancestor, a kind of vampire. What about you? This might be the strangest self-introduction I've ever witnessed. I sigh, either I've accepted my insane new reality, or I just don't have anything left in me to argue. I'm Shikitono, just a regular student. I'll warn you now, I'm not going to be of much use. I take the woman's, Arcued's, hand. She peers at me intently for a moment, then offers her hand again for a shake. Well, Shiki, as of now, we're partners. I'm going to work you hard in return for killing me. Don't work me too hard. She grins wickedly, her left hand outstretched. I must be the first and last person in the world to be repaying someone for their own murder. I'm really in it now, aren't I? But what else can I do? Against my better judgment, I shake my hands with this mysterious vampire, the woman in white. This is the opening, right? Yep. We gotta silence this. We gotta mute this! Unfortunately, this is copyrighted. It was actually a really good song. Whee! Can I actually skip this? I can! I can skip it. That makes things a whole lot easier. Thank you. Come again. voice echoes in the darkness. Where's the save button? There's the save button. We're going to save here. So, when I die, we don't do it all over again. I'm going to fuck this up at least another 2 times. I guarantee it. A voice echoes in the darkness. The air is damp. The rotten smell that lingers in the air is eye-wateringly rancid. It's too dark to see a thing. It's driving her into sensory overload. What is this place? She can't remember what happened to her a few minutes ago. She can't remember where she is. She feels like she hears the voice of men in the distance. She feels like she came here of her own volition. If she thinks hard enough, she thinks she remembers taking an elevator. As the elevator descended, she was suddenly struck with a horrible realization that this wasn't just some goofy urban legend, but a dark and dangerous truth she shouldn't have stuck her nose into. What gave you the bright idea to even stick your nose into some urban legend? Part of her recalls desperately mashing the emergency stop button. Where am I? But that was then, and this is now. Humans cannot turn back the clock. Time's arrow is asymmetrical. One may traverse the arrow from left to right, but never the reverse. In other words, by the time the girl realized her folly, she was already in hell. Fearing the dark, the girl pressed her hand to the wall. Rotting juice coats her fingers. Stinks of spoiled meat. It gives her way to her touch. Though her tears, she realized it must be a human viscera, but she cannot bring herself to pull away. Her fingers must trace it to find her way forward. There's no other way to navigate this darkness. She can't escape the steady footsteps that have been following her for some time now. No, please, no. She has no choice but to follow the path, her expression distraught as her fingernails scrape through the slimy guts. With every step, she swears she hears metallic cries from something grinding and twisting across itself within the walls. Are you a human? Stop! Don't leave! Don't leave me! Mommy! Let me out! Please let me out! It's hard to believe screams like that could come from another human being. The wails are so desperate that they might rupture their throats and lungs, yet these people have long shed any such concerns and now simply howl into the abyss. There's little that can be done about their bodies now. Limbless, they are suspended from the ceiling like a mass of bagworms. No, I don't want to die! She ignores the pleas of those who are beyond saving and continues to run. She just needs a light. Any light. If she had a light, she could escape. There's a goal you have to reach. That's what the men who guided her down here had told her. They laughed when they said it. So, there has to be an exit. She believes it's the only way she could save herself. She knows it's a lie, but she needs to cling to hope if she's to maintain any semblance of sanity. Light! A light! She looks behind her. That's right, she knows she's not alone here. She came here together with her boyfriend. That idiot was the one who suggested it. It's because of him that she agreed it might be fun to try. It's all his fault. She hopes he dies. She hopes he dies soon. She hopes he dies before she does. She hopes his death might lead to her escape. She hopes she'll be the only one saved. She's the special one, after all. She didn't do anything wrong. There's no reason she should be suffering. This should be reserved for those who are stupider than her, those that are dirtier than her, those who are luckier and more blessed. This has nothing to do with her. She's always been good. She's lived a normal life. She's always been normal. This misfortune should fall upon someone else. The faint darkness fades. A blackness, dark and deep, takes hold. The girl standing in the middle of it all stares down at her burning body.
We're just straight up burning people alive, apparently, is what's going on here. Yep. Just pyro! Fire! Fire, burning fire on the bodies! Oh, whoa! The appendages she used to feel her way along the wall have burned all the way down to her elbows. When she frantically looks at her body, she realizes her clothes have burned away. Her skin has turned black and charred, cracking to reveal the sinew and organs hidden beneath. The fat of her flesh sizzles and burns with a flame red and hot enough to captivate her gaze. Thank goodness, the woman thinks, laughing to herself. Finally, I finally found a light. I'm burning. This is wonderful. Look at me. I'm burning. I'm burning. She cackles, a flame anatomical model taken with madness, a torch of flesh providing light in the darkness. Then, a sharp stab puts her out of her misery. Please, let me go. Her body burns as boiling blood spews from the wound. As if savoring the warmth of her body, it drinks her fresh blood. This is discomforting. This hell returns to total darkness. Having finished its minuscule meal, it crosses through the masterless hellscape. Behind it are countless corpses. A river of flame indiscriminately swallowing all who wander the wasteland, whether they be lost humans or cemeteries' dead residents. It's cold. Breath spills from its lips like smoke. It shambles towards the surface, leaving behind a trail of red in its wake like a twisted slug. I shall claim the heart of the true ancestor. It carves the prey that its footmen discovered mere moments ago. Well, this is a decent room. I think I'll be able to sleep pretty well in a place like this. Arquette looks like she's enjoying herself as she inspects the hotel room. I have no words for how this day has turned out. So, what do you want me to do? We should get out of here first. My apartment isn't exactly suited for defense, so how about we find ourselves a room with a nice high vantage point? And here we are. Arquette hailed a taxi on the main street, and we drove over to one of the neighboring city districts. Am I the only one that's a little discomforted by this entire situation? Like, the only one who's not reading this is like 8 red flags are going off right now? From there, we didn't just book a room at one of the most prominent and expensive hotels around. No! Arquette decided to book the entire top floor just for us. I feel like some A-list celebrity. Wow! Look at how high we are! Seriously though, the rate your architectural abilities grow never ceases to astound me. How old is this girl? That's what I need to know. How old is this girl that she's astonished by the architect of modern day? What do you call this? Making mountains out of molehills. The March of Progress? It doesn't matter. Look, Shiki, look! The alley we were in earlier looks so small from up here. Arquette happily peeks through the shut curtains at the panorama below. I can't say I'm as excited as she is. The place feels less like a hotel room and more like a standalone citadel that happens to be built on the hotel's top floor. From the sun-blocking curtains to the furniture to the materials of the walls and doors, every last bit is grander than anything you'd normally encounter. And since we rented out the entire floor,
we won't be seeing any other guests. Upon closer inspection, I noticed there's even a TV screen that displays an active feed of the first floor lobby. No matter where I look, I'm reminded that this room is reserved only for the most privileged of people. We'll hide away here for the night. Oh, and don't worry about their cost. I'm pretty rich, so it's all on me.
How old are you? Please, someone explain to me how old this girl is.
Arcuette speaks cheerfully as she steps away from the window.
She looks to be 16. But so far, I have no belief that she actually is.
As amazed as she seemed to be by the view a moment ago, it appears she's already grown tired of the bird's eye view of the city. Arcuette, what were you thinking? An exhausted sigh slips out of me. I was thinking a bunch of things.
I don't mean just now.
What were you thinking sharing a hotel room with a gun? I paused before I finished my sentence.
I mean, can you be mature about it? That is the question.
I'm only here to watch over the self-proclaimed vampire while she sleeps. I shouldn't say anything that might complicate it even further.
You know what? It's fine. Do whatever you want.
You're weird, Shiki. You switch between anger and silence on a dime. I never know what to expect from you. Arcuette chuckles as if something hilarious about the situation. Meanwhile, I'm standing near the door, muscles tensed as I keep a watchful eye on the room. Watching her relax, I realize we couldn't be more opposite from one another right now. Fatigue is spread throughout every inch of my body. I wish I could rest, but I also know that the second I take a seat on that sofa, I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. I sit on a comfy sofa like that, and I'm going to bed. Full on nighty-night. No matter how tired I get, I know better than to let my guard down. Shiki, do you want something to drink? They've got plenty of options. A carefree voice calls out to me from the menu bar. Needless to say, the bottles Arcuette holds are filled with alcohol. Aren't you too young to do... I stop. I have no clue whether she's over the legal drinking age or not. And I don't particularly care to find out either. I do! Should I be calling the cops right now for teenage partying or for... I'm not sure what exactly at this point. I haven't done anything. But it is weird that someone over the legal drinking age is hiring a 16-year-old high school student to bodyguard. I'll grab something later. For now. No matter how exhausted I am, no matter how confusing the situation might be, there are some questions I have to ask her. I need to know what she is. A vampire. And I need to know how much danger I'm in. A metric fuck ton. Not a fuck ton, a metric fuck ton. The ratio is probably something like 2.54 to 1. I think that's it. I can't even afford to sit on the couch if I don't at least attempt to understand all the weird things happening here. For now, there's some things I need to ask you. We can relax afterwards. Sure, I don't really mind. Why this sudden politeness, though? You do realize I haven't let my guard down even once around you, but that aside, because it's a serious topic. For starters, what's your goal? Me? I'm here to hunt down a vampire. Hunting vampires is my duty. Yeah, you told me that. But aren't you supposed to be the vampire as well? Seriously? You still don't believe me? Don't worry, I believe you. Try as I might not. I'm just saying, it's weird that you're a vampire, but you're here to kill another vampire. It doesn't make any sense to me. I would like to introduce you to humanity! Can we just look at modern day society, please, for like 5 minutes? 5 seconds is all it takes for... Look at the situation of modern day. This just is like, okay, we're doing this. Got it.
Guess we're committing felonies today.
Oh, who gets the idea of killing your own kind, Shiki?
I mean, a good chunk are at least 90%. 8% are probably somewhere between it's self-defense, but I'd rather not. And let's not talk about the other 2%, please. I'd rather not kill anyone, whether they're the same species or not. Are we sure you're not a vegan? But that beside the point, don't vampires suck human blood? Wouldn't it make more sense if you're going after a human? The ones you should be killing are humans, right? The ones whose blood you suck?
Sucking blood and killing are two different things. Though, I see where you're coming from. You're saying I should get along with members of my own species, right?
Abso-fucking-absolutely.
Vampires might all be traced back to the same greater source, but we've evolved differently over time, like endemic animals.
Don't compare yourself to animals like that, honey. You're better than that.
As such, we don't share the camaraderie you feel for your fellow humans.
Again, modern day, can we just please talk about that for just 5 fucking seconds? So you're saying the vampire you're looking for is different from you?
That's right. There's a separate type of vampire.
I still file that as racist. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't really help my cause that he is killing people.
The vampire I'm tracking is one that was once human. They're the type you're probably most familiar with. They suck human blood and turn the people they kill into familiars, gradually increasing their power bit by bit. Remember those zombies this morning? That's what you get when a vampire kills a human. That which died as a human, but was brought back, the living dead.
That which died, but was brought back. Brains. Those corpses I saw in that alley. In stories, it said those who get their blood sucked by a vampire get turned into one as well, attacking other humans in turn. That's how they propagate and spread. If this goes unchecked, then the whole town could be turned into a stronghold for the living dead.
The vampire that's lurking in your city is of that type. Unlike them, I don't have the need to drink blood, and I've got no attachment to those of their kind, so I'll feel no hesitation in striking them down.
If they weren't killing, it'd be very easy to just call this entire situation a racist. Arquid states the words matter-of-factly. I guess there really are all kinds of vampires out there. It's a little late to bring this up, but what the hell were you thinking when you said you were going to use me as a shield to go after that vampire?
That was my original plan. Even if you refused, I would have used my mystic eyes to bind you to my will and force you into being my shield.
Once again, I'm glad I said yes.
But I changed my mind after talking to you.
So she was planning to take me by force. Does this file as kidnapping? I just realized, does this file as kidnapping? Don't think I'll be forgetting about that. Yes? Can I help you? She's looking at me like, stay off my throne right now. Don't put your hand on it. I'm taking a nap. Don't give me that look, young lady. So, what changed your mind?
I guess I realized I had the wrong impression.
I get that a lot.
You had me thinking that you were with the church after you killed me like that.
Yeah. Can I introduce you to a church real quick? I need to introduce you to a church.
Which would have meant that you wouldn't just be a good backup, but you might even know where my target has made their nest. But it turns out you're a total normal human, Forget knowing where their nest is located, you barely know what a vampire is.
I am in Twilight. I got that far.
Though, I suppose it would be unusual for the church to dispatch one of their executors to an atheist country like this anyway. As it's even rare to see one working solo, since they're almost always sent out in two-man cells, master and disciple.
Teacher and Pigtails Girl. I'm saying it now. Teacher and Pigtails Girl. Arkwood mutters to herself as she paces around the room. She's gotten so sidetracked it feels like she's forgotten all about me.
Anyhow, my sights have switched back from you to my original prey, the vampire. Though, it's kind of a shame.
She manages to say such a terrifying thing in the cheeriest of voices. Shit, she definitely has forgotten what I did to her. I certainly deserve to be despised for murdering her, but it's still bad for my heart to hear her talk so lightly about killing in turn. Maybe she really does intend to kill me the second I let my guard down.
Are we done with the serious questions? Because if we are, the bed is calling my name!
Oh. Before I even get the chance to react, she's off. Arkwood bounces over to the bed and plop.
Bedtime! This feels so good. I think I'll sleep till sundown. You should get some rest too. Vampires can't move around during the daytime, so I don't really need to stand guard till nightfall.
This doesn't help the case of the fact that you were doing it just 5 fucking minutes ago. You realize what you just said contradicts every action you've taken in daylight so far.
I'm different, that's all.
Look, I got that far.
But I am at my limit. Nighty-night, Shiki. Wake me when the sun goes down.
Hey.
Arkwood falls asleep so abruptly, it's as if someone turned off a car engine.
Seriously?
I can hardly believe it, but she's actually asleep. I feel like an idiot for staying next to the door this whole time in case I need to run. Is this okay? I mean, I want to talk, but is she really okay with this? I was practically taken here against my will, but now I could just as easily run away.
You are Sojiro 2.0 at this point out. That's all I'm saying. Last game, kidnapping. This game, borderline kidnapping.
And don't tell me she's forgotten. Even if I don't feel the same impulses now.
I already killed you once before. So how can she doze off like this with me around? Screen capture. This is still just a beautiful fucking shot. That's all I'm gonna say. Beautiful fucking shot. And I'm out of tea, right?
I watch her while she sleeps. Peering closely, I notice the slow rise and fall of her chest as she breathes. But other than that, she doesn't move a muscle. It's like I'm looking at the painting. The lids of her eyes are closed in peaceful rest. Her eyelashes are long and her lips are luscious, even without the slightest touch of her lipstick. I trace the curve of her plump chest with my eyes, following the line until it meets the flat of her hips, like a hill meets the horizon. Her arms are long and slender. She looks innocent yet sensual all at once, a contradiction I struggle to make sense of. Here she is, vulnerably slumbering away in the hotel's royal suite, trusting me, the person who killed her, to be in the same room with her despite us having only just met.
You idiot.
She's so ridiculously trusting and honest, I'm frankly a little worried about her. Either way, this is the time to choose. This is my last chance to turn back. The woman told me to be her shield. But I'm done hesitating. I'm staying put.
I did make a promise.
That's right. I did.
No matter what happens, I don't intend to break my promise. Arcuette is still asleep. I honestly can't tell by looking at her, but she did say she was weakened. She even said she was at her limit earlier, but the real question is whether I should stay or leave. I didn't have the chance to think on it before. It's quiet in here. We're the only two people in this room, on this entire floor even, though I'll save wondering if it's rude to count self-proclaimed vampires as people for later. You idiot. Don't even know on which side it'd be rude to. I scold myself. After being chased the entire morning, my body is too tired to move properly, even thinking it's exhausting. I know that feeling all too well. I guess I should try to relax first. I tear myself away from the door to sit down. The chair I choose is a tall one adjacent to the minibar. I find a bottle of the mineral water inside and pour myself a glass. Much better. The cool water unravels my scrambled thoughts. The wild chain of events this morning had clogged my mind, keeping me from thinking clearly. I should take this chance to carefully decide on my next move. Seriously, it's my second resigned exclamation of the day. The one before was directed at Arcuette, but this time it's aimed squarely at myself. The sound of her gentle breathing brushes against my ears, pulling my focus away. What is wrong with me? What am I doing? Getting all excited and worked up over her at a time like this? I need to leave the room. This must be because the fear that gripped me in the alley still hasn't let me go. I just need to take a deep breath in the hallway and I'll be fine. This strange heat in my chest will go away. We really did book the entire floor. There's not a single other guest or staff wandering the top floor. Arcuette is currently sleeping in the corner at the end of the hallway. We've got a clear view of whatever would come our way, but it also means we're that much further from the elevators. I totally forgot about school. It's a little past 11 a.m. now. I doubtlessly already mid-marked as absent. It'll be a lot of trouble if the school calls the mansion, but there's little I can do to prevent that. Akiha's definitely going to have a thing or two to say about this, but this isn't the time to worry about that. It may be too late, but I guess you'll text Arihiko. I don't feel good, so I'm skipping. Make up some excuse for me if you can. You mean the guy who might also be skipping? I send him a loose reason for my absence and hope that he'll rise to my call for help. I'm not begging him to work any miracles, just hoping he can figure out something if the opportunity presents itself. If only I could tell him more about what's happening. No way. He'd just call a mental asylum on me. There's no way to explain this situation without sounding like a lunatic. Absolutely! But that sums up everything in the last game, too. Arihiko doesn't need to know more than this. Well then, thinking of a familiar face calmed me down a little. It's time to return to the room where the self-proclaimed vampire is sleeping. You should also take a nap? Just saying. I'm back. I knew she'd still be asleep, but it'd feel weird to enter a room without a word. The woman in white is sleeping just like she was when I left. It's like she barely moved. She doesn't look the slightest bit threatening in her sleep. If I didn't know any better, I'd say she looked like a princess from some foreign country. I've avoided the sofa long enough. Even though I know I might not get back again, I take a seat. After all, the sofa is the only place in the room that has a good overview of both the bed and the door. It is just as ridiculously comfortable as I'd anticipated. Its fluffy cushions call to me. I feel like I might just melt into them, but I stop myself. I'm supposed to stand guard, so I can't fall asleep now. Even from here, she's almost nightmarishly beautiful. Her smooth, pale skin, her slender fingers, each one a piece of fine art. The soft curves of her body. Every last detail of her body is without equal, and when put together, the composition is flawless. I've never seen a figure so sublime. No, that's not right. In all my life, I thought I'd never see one. Oh, I let a long sigh as I look up at the ceiling. For all that talk about being a vampire and coming back from the dead, Arcuid is a living creature, one that looks and talks just like a human. And the fact she's too weak to even get up on her own is all my fault. I need to take responsibilities for my actions. I think back to what I was taught in my younger days. It was Master who told me, because my eyes are unusual, they may attract other unusual things. It's about time for me to pull myself together. For now, I need to keep my promise. Tonight at least, I'll protect her in whatever way And we're going to bed. Dude, you are a shit bodyguard. I'm just saying. White. I open my eyes to the color white. The color pulls an old memory from the recesses of my mind. You are terrible at being a bodyguard. A hot summer day. Huge fluffy clouds cover the blue sky. The air shimmers with heat. And the keening of cicadas eats at me. The cries of the cicadas. Fuck. Cicadas are loud, obnoxious. I was out in Tennessee one time when the cicadas were doing their whole repopulating thing. And it was both times. It was like the 7 and 10 year one at the same time. And I was just having none of it. I was so done. They were everywhere. They were getting all over me, and I was just not having it. My hands are glistening with red liquid, as if they were dipped in paint. Fucking, the cicadas would fly up and just sit on my shoulder, and I'd just be like... It was worse than skeeters, because they would just get everywhere. They'd be like, Andrew, there's one in your hair, and I'd be like, get the fuck off me. They'd get in the bus. They'd get in the frickin' cars. They'd get in your hair. They'd get in everything. And then when I got home to Texas, husks were just everywhere. I'm just like, I didn't ask for this. Thank you very much. Screech, screech, screech. That's exactly what they sound like. Oh my god. Cicada husks are scattered around. It feels as if the beating sun is right on top of us. Burning, sizzling, scorching the clearing. I really hope this isn't a pleasant memory, because cicadas are not pleasant if you ask me. A hot midsummer day. It's as if the world was warped into one massive frying pan. Sob, sob, sob. Akiha is crying. Akiha, who's always following after me, is weeping into her hands. A child on the ground next to her. The sunlight plays over my slick, wet hands. Yes, my hands are cold. The other child is cold. Red blood painting our world is warm. Shiki. The adults are here. The other child is dead. The adults are yelling. They scream, asking whether I killed him. A dream forgotten within a dream. That dream is a bit of a red flag. A bit concerning. Just a bit. So let's file it under yellow flag. A dream can be just a dream, but also, why are we having dreams like that? Shiki, wake up! The sun's gone down already, and you were supposed to wake my ass up. My body is violently shaken from a slumber. The whole cold hand grips my shoulder as an unfamiliar voice calls to me. Arcued stands in front of me, and she looks very nervous. Why, you sleeping on the job? The world outside the window is dark. When I glance at the clock, I realize it's already past 8, and you are past your curfew. Huh. Not the most reliable, are you? I told you to wake me up at sunset, but look, you're sleeping instead. Sorry, I must have dozed off. This couch is a little way too comfortable. I'm such a mess. To think I'd fall asleep while watching over her. You are a shit bodyguard. I'm so glad your payment is forgiveness. Because you would have been fired immediately. You make such a poor bodyguard. If someone had attacked us while we were both conked out, we'd both be dead right now, you know? Abso-freaking-lutely. I said I was sorry. Didn't you say you were basically safe during the daytime anyway? I said that vampires aren't active then. We still could have been attacked by familiars like the ones you saw this morning. Arcued is mad. Of course, she has every right to be. A guard who falls asleep during his watch is no more useful than a scarecrow. I know it's just about a constant trope in television for the guard to be asleep, but is that an actual thing that's constantly happening? Oh, an overnight security guard is like, sleep, 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 and just sleeps through because nothing ever happens, nothing useful. And hey, did you forget I'm a vampire, Shiki? So how come you can sleep next to me like it's nothing? I mean, would it kill you to be a little more scared for your life? Honey, you are so far from terrifying right now. You are sound the frick asleep. You are out like a light. I'm pretty sure a tornado siren could have gone off and you would have been like... I take back my apology. She seems more upset at the fact I wasn't too terrified to fall asleep near her than my failure as a guard. Both? Both? Absolutely both. Absolutely both. I finally regained enough strength to move, only to wake up and find you sleeping like a baby. You look so defenseless, it honestly makes me wonder if I'm lacking in vampire grandeur. Hold on. If I'm defenseless, then I'd say the same goes for you. You're the one asking your own murderer to guard you while you sleep, like a little princess. What makes you think I wouldn't have done it again? You shouldn't underestimate me just because I'm human. To be fair, she would have just regenerated. She absolutely would have just regenerated. I think she could trust to sleep next to you because she just would have regenerated. I bite back at her like a trapped mouse squeaking at a cat. Any experience with that? She's like, don't talk to me, I'm sleeping. It's really just a bitter attempt to save face, and yet... Oh. Arcued falls silent, apparently only just having realized she's rooming with her murderer. So nobody thought this entire thing through. Not a single person had a single forethought. It was just, this is what we're doing. I suppose you're right. For some reason, I guess I started trusting you completely after our little talk. Well, it's not like she has any bad intentions. Yeah, she does. But they're righteous bad intentions, so it kind of becomes this intentions. If you trust me that much, I'll just have to help you out the best I can. Do you want me to just keep a lookout? That's right, just until the sun rises again. I won't be leaving the room, so I need you to guard me against anyone who comes to this floor. Easier said than done. If something like that panther shows up again, I'm not sure what I'd be able to do about it, but okay. I'm way out of my league here. I can't exactly do my job as a bodyguard without knowing what I'm up against first. Might be best if I continue where we left off last time. Time for the exposition dump. I remember this much. I remember exposition dump. Panthers and burning zombies aside, I still know pretty much nothing about Arcued and who she's... Give me a sec. That didn't go well. Yes, I'm disturbing your slumber because Daddy's going to take care of his allergies. It might be best if we continue where we... Did I just do the rewind button? I need to confirm something, Arcued. Were those things that came after us in the alley sent by your enemy? They were more just patrolling the area. Those ones are tasked with keeping an eye on certain paths around town. A few of them spotted us talking while they were patrolling, and now they know I'm here. They? You mean your target? Exactly. If I were in better shape, getting spotted would actually save me a lot of ton of trouble. But as things are, I could get taken out. That's why we fled here. If we were attacked again before I could fully recover, it'd be really, really bad. Arcued's enemy is the serial killer that's been terrorizing this town, another vampire. From the sound of it, the vampire is after Arcued as well. Though they don't seem to be on the level playing field right now. Arcued is still extremely weak. So the other vampire has lackeys acting as its eyes and ears, and you have... me. Not no one. Me. Arcued pouts and pulls her shoulders up in a huff. She isn't refuting it. That must mean she really is alone. Well, I guess that makes it easier for me. You were talking about how there were a bunch of different types of vampires earlier. Is this the same thing? Like, are we dealing with a type of vampire that has a bunch of followers? I wonder if there's a simple way of explaining it. Arcued's eyes wander over ceiling as she thinks. It doesn't feel like she's that used to conversation. It's fine. You can give me the complicated explanation. Just tell me whatever you can. I might not be able to follow everything, but I'll try and make sense of it one way or another. You sure? Thanks, Shiki. Yeah, no need to thank me. Just let me know what's going on. Arcued nods earnestly. So, there are a few types of vampires that convert a lot of followers. The one that's taken residence in the city is particularly the old type called a dead apostle. I'm still trying to figure out, where does a whiteboard come from? Did you just Uber Eats a whiteboard over and was like, well, here we are. I'm going to need this because I know I'm going to have the exposition dump. Or, as the church sometimes calls them, a castellan. Fully autonomous, can create children from humans by drinking their blood and otherwise corrupting them. These castellans will invade a town or village and slowly spread their influence. So, like a TikToker. Castellans are TikTokers. Got it. Let's look at the first stage of their invasion. They seek out strong, suitable victims, suck their blood, and turn them into their servants. When a person has their blood sucked and dies, they turn into a Castellan's puppet, but they'll still retain their personality they had while human. Basically, they're the type that still retains their personality. From a dead apostle, this type, the undead, make for good, high-level familiars. Right off the bat, there's a bunch of stuff I do not understand. But at least my mind's feeling a lot cleaner after the nap. I just said cleaner when that says clearer. I'm just going to skip past all the terminology I didn't understand and go straight to the few words I did. Suck blood, kill, become familiar. I got that far. So these undead the ones that still possess their original personality. They're vampires that were originally human.
At rank 3, I'm not sure I'd call them vampires yet.
Intelligent enough to disguise themselves by mimicking human behavior. Brains reconstructed post-mortem elite imagery.
Physically, they're superior to humans, but they're still more like worker ant leaders who can't create offspring on their own.
I'm so glad we're re-going over this because I still have no idea what's going on. So, what about those things that we met in the alley? Zombies! We are practicing necromancy today.
Ah, those would actually be one rank beneath the undead. We call them ghouls.
Then why'd you call them zombies? Because zombies are undead. Zombie is necromancy.
They can no longer mimic human behavior. They're just pawns that carry out orders.
Zombies blindly follow their master's order, absent of any will of their own, require minimal effort to create cannon fodder. Great! Getting a little carried away by her explanation, Arkwid has gone and outlined different types of vampires on board. She's surprisingly multi-talented. Are we surprised by this? The girl is probably like 8,000 years old?
Once the Castellan has converted enough people into their servant, they will arrange a coffin to slumber within. They do this since they can't be active during the day, and any type of vampiric activity will just draw more attention. As such, gathering food and expanding influence is left to their servants. The servants from rank 3 and above can mimic humans well enough to prey on them effectively. Some of the human flesh and blood they gather is consumed by the servants themselves as the source of sustenance, but most will be passed on to the Castellan. The Castellan slumbers in their coffin, accumulating power until they've converted the entire community into their own flesh and blood.
So what I'm hearing is we're probably going to have a few characters we know, love, and maybe hate be servants. Is it Arihiko? It's probably Arihiko. No. It's probably not CL. She's one of the characters you can date. Pigtails girl from school. Not the one that we met on the train, the one that's in the school. She got pigtails or ponytail? She's got stylish hair and she's a sweetheart. There's no way she's not part of the bad guys team.
That's the type of vampire we're dealing with in the city right now. As things are, they don't have a lot of servants yet, so they're not that powerful, but as more humans fall victim, the Castellan's power will continue to grow exponentially. Ideally, one would snuff out the location of the vampire's coffin and take them out before it ever comes to that, but I haven't pinpointed their whereabouts yet.
So what I'm hearing is we need to follow their servants back to their lair. Who are we using as bait?
They've hidden themselves pretty darn well this time. I can't sense even the slightest trace. If I could figure out where they're sleeping, this would all be a lot easier. Without any clues, though, all I've been able to do is wander the town during daylight and to investigate. At which point, some crazed slasher jumped me and killed me, so that was a bit of a pain.
She's never gonna let us live it down, is she?
Arkway claps her hands together and punctuates her sentence with a bright smile. My, what a pain in the ass you are.
I don't have a bowl cut, thank you.
That's me she's talking about. I swallow uncomfortably.
I see. I think I'm starting to get the picture. A terrible monster that preys on humans has built its nest in this town, and you've come here to get rid of it. But while you were searching for its hideout, I, killed you, so now you're weak and you have to hide until you recover, right?
Yep, that's basically it.
Then on my next question, why is this vampire making everything so complicated? Couldn't they just do everything by themselves? Why bother with all the servants? Because that raises red flags.
That's simply because they're weak.
Oh, they're a bunch of they're pansy.
No matter how powerful they are, or how much life force they possess, vampires like that can't survive alone. When you have as many weaknesses as they do, standing out for too long is a ticket to an early grave. That's why they turn humans into familiars and have them collect blood in their stead. Humans may be weaker, but they also possess fewer weaknesses of their own. It's essentially a matter of reducing the risk for them.
So, vampires have a lot of weaknesses, huh? Like what exactly? Garlic, wooden stakes, sunlight, crosses. Do I need to go on?
Well, there's sunlight and the risk of their magical energy running dry, but their biggest weakness is probably that they have a lot of enemies.
A lot of enemies. Like you mean?
No, besides me, I'm a bit of an exception anyway. As you might imagine, humans aren't the biggest fans of vampires, and humans' greatest asset are your numbers and your ability to band together, right?
I'm going to disagree with the last one. We spend a lot of time just trying to kill each other.
There are humans whose sole purpose in life is to search for reports of vampiric incidents, track the culprits down, and slay them.
That happens to be the church. That is a fantastic looking church.
The church, serving a religion in Western Europe, is especially vicious about the whole thing. Their hunters call themselves executors and claim they're carrying out the Lord's will. They've had centuries to hone their skills in killing dead apostles. Honestly, they're more trouble than some vampires themselves. So, that's why vampires will conceal themselves at first. They can't hunt for blood if they can't have to risk being sealed away by the church. Hunters sent by the church sound like the Inquisitions and witch hunts of the Middle Ages. They must be incredible specialists to make even vampires hide and cower in fear. Not really. It's the church. They got church money. They got toys that I'm pretty sure even the U.S. military would go, I want that. Can I have that? How do I get that? What check do I have to write? But something still has me scratching my head. You said these vampires hide themselves at first. Do you mean that once they've gathered enough blood, they don't hide enough anymore? That's right. Hiding becomes pointless once they're strong enough. If a vampire is successful, then it'll be too late by the time the church's executors arrive. It'll be using the assets it's accumulated to rule the town with an iron fist. Then once it's finished devouring the town, it'll move on to find a new hunting ground. If humans want to eliminate a vampire, they need to do so before it becomes an issue. Any later, and the city's far gone to save. So how do I get the wooden steak and garlic? Are we going grocery shopping? I'm sorry, Shiki, but your city's already got quite a few servants prowling around on the vampire's behalf. Humans alone won't be able to fix it. So that's why you are here. You had to bring out the big guns. Because otherwise, Daddy would be mad. Arcoid's explanation is a little hard for me to swallow. I mean, I understand what she's trying to say, but understanding and accepting are two very different things. She can't just tell me that my town is beyond saving and expect me to nod along saying, sure! Though the problem feels much more fundamental here. Yep. I can't believe it. Seriously, the expressions this guy makes. Top tier. I love that expression. Come on. You still can't think I tried to fool you? How much time you got? No, I believe that you're telling the truth, but you don't seem like the type to lie. Obviously. What would the point be in lying here? So, it's not that I don't believe what you're saying, I just can't wrap my head around all this vampire stuff. You keep saying vampire this, vampire that, but none of it feels real. I mean, I know you're not human. That much is obvious to me. But it's not like you actually feel like a vampire either whenever we talk. I guess I can understand that. I must be pretty far removed from your pre-existing notions of vampires. Yeah, pretty girl, vampire. Usually you're the victim. You could say that again. I never even believed vampires were real, let alone that they might be, well, this. And honestly, I don't really understand what's supposed to set you apart from the other vampire. I finally managed to figure out what's been bothering me. I can't continue this conversation without understanding what differentiates her from other vampires. It would be wrong of me to trust her without a good reason. If anything, it's entirely possible she possesses an even bigger threat than this Castellan. Oh, I suppose that would make sense for a human to think that way. If you never had heard of either, you'd have no way of knowing which one of us is more of a threat. No problem. That just calls for some supplementary lessons. Strap yourself in for Vampire 101. Arkwood proudly holds up a finger. Great, we're going to Vampire Kindergarten, everybody! A, B, C, D. Sure. What would that be? You're completely new to the world of vampires, so we have to go back to the basics. Teach stuff even a kitten would know. Do you know these things, Anu? I'm still lost. She's like, the fuck are you going off about? Ergo, Vampire 101. Don't worry, Shiki. I'm an excellent teacher. Really? Because I'm still lost. Teacher? That's when. I've got to admit, it feels like a little condescending for her to explain this to me like I was some kind of kid. I mean, you're 16. Fine. Just keep it short, please. Leave it to me. I'll do whatever I can. Is this exposition dump has gone on way too long. Like I observed before, Arkwood really doesn't seem that used to conversing with others. I guess self-proclaimed vampire doesn't get too many chances to talk to humans. Glancing at the clock, I notice it's a little before midnight. I'm kind of shocked that so much time has passed already, but luckily for us, we've still got plenty of time to kill. How did 4 hours pass by? That's all I'm saying. 4 hours have gone by. And all I got is a million more questions. Let's start by classifying the main types of vampire. The term vampire gets thrown around a lot, but you can actually split them into two main branches. There's those who were born vampires and those that weren't. The former are called true ancestors, the latter dead apostles. When humans think of vampires, what you're really thinking of is dead apostles. Drink human blood, weak to sunlight. All the different ranks I mentioned earlier are essentially a taxonomy system for dead apostles. They drink human blood, turn others into servants, are weak to sunlight, and will retreat when faced with baptism. Just to be extra clear, our enemy is also a dead apostle. I can't help but notice that at some point her enemy became our enemy. But I guess that's how it is for now, so I decided to let it pass. You said dead apostles weren't always vampires. What about... Dead apostles are those who used to be humans, animals, or anything that wasn't already a vampire, really. This can include those that become immortal as a result of magecraft, or those who had their blood sucked and were turned into vampire servants. In the end, it doesn't matter how they got there, the result remains the same. Those who become vampires obtain a flawed, yet immortal body. Either way, they're no longer human. Kawaii. Suyoi. We're gonna have to move there now. My video screen just can't pick a side, apparently. So, we've got two true ancestors, which are natural-born vampires, as well as dead apostles, which are humans who turned into vampires. I can't quite put my finger on it. Something about the story still seems fundamentally off to me. Hey, Shiki, how much do you know about vampires' abilities? Turn into bats, hypnotic stare, just the standard stuff. They drink blood of virgins, they can paralyze you with just a glare, they can turn into mist and wolves too. Bats! Bats! I think. Basically all the vampire stuff you usually hear about. Well, all of that is more or less true. The blood of those who have yet to exchange fluids with another person is better suited for supplementing vampires' genetic material. Essentially, virgin blood is more nutritious. Can we find a better way to phrase that sentence? Not make it sound so crude. Remember, dead apostles, those who weren't always vampires, have a flawed sort of immortality. Sure, their cells don't age and they die far less easily. But it's like an ever-burning furnace, without a regular supply of energy that will waste away. All living things absorb nutrients from their food to survive, right? It's the same thing here. The only difference is that as long as vampires can feed on blood, they won't die a natural death. You see, dead apostles and their kind drink blood because they need to in order to survive. Since they were born human, they aren't equipped to maintain an immortal body. The older and stronger a vampire gets, the more its genes begin to buckle under the strain of that growth. If it doesn't grow more powerful, it'll break down. On the other hand, if it becomes too powerful, its body won't be able to maintain its own integrity. So what are they to do? It's simple, really. They seek out those unlike themselves, who are still capable of maintaining their own bodily integrity, and the vampire takes from them what they've lost. It's like how humans enjoy having organic compounds in their diet. Vampires drink human blood, from which they'll obtain normal genetic information and energy, I guess. You could say it's like drawing calories from the soul. In other words, they secure their own form by absorbing genetic information from healthy humans through blood. Drinking blood isn't just a means of feeding and accumulating power, it's essential to their continued existence. So, what exactly happens when we kill the dead apostle? Do the humans get turned back and stop working for the dead apostle, or are they dead too? The explanation makes my head spin with both its complexity and length. I'm not following this at all, but Archwed carries right along. Next, you mentioned how vampires can paralyze people with a glare. That's the type of mystic eye. I know that one! I know that thing. Toka used it. Toko. Toka is somebody else. The eye makes for a convenient and powerful magical circuit. So there are quite a few vampires with mystic eyes. It's probably easiest to understand if you think of it as a way to direct magical energy in one direction. Kind of like a laser beam coming out of their eyes, something like that. Vampires can shoot lasers from their eyes? Like is the operative word. Archwed said something so outrageous I can't help but jump out of my seat. No, I don't think so. I don't think there are actually any vampires with the ability quite that wild. I'm just trying to give you a good picture to work with. I'm relieved, and also a little disappointed. Yeah, I can get behind that. What are these mystic eyes anyways? In special kind of eyes, they make it possible to cast a single action spell by manipulating the eye's magic circuit. Think of it like a special technique. A Gios. It's a fucking Gios. Humans have all kinds of different swordsmanship styles, right? It's the same as that. Generally speaking, any dead apostle should be able to use Mystic Eyes, though there are many different types. That said, even if they train, a lot of it comes down to innate talent and aptitude of the vampire. Most vampires have Mystic Eyes of enchantment. It's a basic type of Mystic Eyes, but it's still effective. Honestly, any other variety probably wouldn't be that useful for a vampire anyway. It's not as easy as a vampire charming whoever they look at. The victim has to meet their gaze as well. There are powerful vampires with Mystic Eyes that allow them to penetrate the target's mind and enforce their will upon them. That's pretty rare as far as dead apostles go. Huh. That sounds like hypnosis or brainwashing. That's exactly what it is. You could go up to someone and tell them to forget everything they saw. With a power like that, you could cover up any murder, even if they were witnesses at the scene. So, complicated mechanics aside, it's bad to look at vampires in the eye. You're catching on. Yeah. When you're fighting vampires, you should try to stay aware of the entire situation instead of staring your opponents down. Making direct eye contact is a good way to get killed. Next, turning to mist. This can also be divided into two categories. A high-level vampire might actually be able to dissipate his body into small particles. However, there are only a few dead apostles who can pull this off, over long periods and distances. Lower-level vampires might be said to disappear in a puff of smoke, but I think your country calls that kagemusha. Particularly careful vampires might create a body double and grant it some of its consciousness. When the double has served its purpose, its magical energy supply is cut, and it fizzles out into a bunch of dust. This makes it look like it's turning into mist. So she actually knows about kagemusha. She might be a vampire for some foreign country, but she's surprisingly knowledgeable about Japanese culture. Beast form. The idea that vampires change into wolves or any other animals for that matter is a byproduct of the way the vampire uses familiars to heal their damaged bodies. The longer the vampire lives, the harder it becomes for them to supplement their decaying body with mere human blood. That's why they'll seek out some powerful beasts and take it into their being. These beasts can be expelled from the body with their previous form. This can make it look like a vampire turned into a wolf or something. A typical dead apostle will absorb just one beast or so to keep his body in good shape. But that's it. Absorbing too many can cause the vampire's sense of self to become clouded by the animals instead. Only one dead apostle has been known to use multiple beasts at his familiar. He's long gone, though. Don't just casually say that! So, that's basically it. It's just a rough outline based on the assumptions you already had, but I hope that clears things up for a bit. I kind of skipped over a lot, but if there's one thing to remember, it's that vampires mostly being with the same appearance and intelligence as those of a human. Now, how many different they are on the side, no matter how different they are on the inside, as long as they can still pass as human, you can call them vampires. I feel like I understand less than ever. After hearing just how monstrous vampires can be, it's even harder to believe that the woman standing in front of me could be one. Well then, my turn to start asking questions. I actually forgot to ask you something pretty important earlier. What could you possibly have to ask me? I'm not a vampire or anything, I'm just a regular student. Oh, really? Then humor me, Shiki. How did you kill me? Huh? I'm asking what method you used. It wasn't runes, Kabbalah, or anything else I've encountered before, since I already have resistance to their mystics. She used magecraft I've never encountered before, like ancient Shintoism or South American treasures. And even then, that shouldn't have been enough to kill me so completely. Answer me, Shiki. What ancient mystics did you use to prevent me from regenerating? Sorry, but I really don't know what you're talking about, mystics. I can tell Arcuette is dead serious, but I legitimately have no idea what she's talking about. I'm talking about your conceptual weapon. You know, a catalyst brimming with history and ideas? You must have sacred artifacts in Japan, right? Usually there's something, like a staff or a blade or a jewel or a mask, used in mystic code. Come on, Shiki, are you sure you have none of this rings a bell? It doesn't, I keep telling you, I'm just a regular student. I don't know anything. Liar! There's no way someone who isn't even a mage could harm me! Shiki, you're hiding something from me, aren't you? Arcuette glares at me like an angry cat. The sun is right in my fucking face. Like, I've got the sun right here. It's right here and it's just beaming into my face. It is not helping my cause. But no matter how she looks at me, it's not like I have anything to hide. Wait, I do. Sorry, I guess there was something. Though I'm not really sure if it's related. Arcuette keeps glaring at me. The only way to resolve this is by confessing the truth. I'm not sure how to describe it, but I can see these lines that indicate where things can be cut. Lines? Exactly what I expected. There's no way she believes that. No one ever does. That's just the way it's always been. Tell me more. Arcuette's response was total seriousness. So like I said, I see where something can be cut. Whether it's living beings, the ground, or whatever, there are lines that cover anything that can be touched. They're like cracks in reality, and I can cut through them with ease. Does that make any sense to you? It's handy that I can use a knife to cut through steel, but it's not like I can cut anywhere I want. I have to follow the lines, so it isn't the ultimate DIY ability or anything like that. I mean, even when I cut you, any regular knife can slice through your skin, you know? A chill runs down my spine. Her gaze is intense enough to bring my breathing to a halt. I've heard legends of the mystic eyes of death perception. I never thought I'd actually come across a bearer. Mutant, a monster such as yourself. Well, hold on. A vampire has no right to call me a monster. I'm calling you what you are. Even among vampires, none possess mystic eyes that can see the death of things. The death of things? What else would it be? Shiki, your eyes are a circuit to a place no living creature should be able to see. Were you born with them? No, they've been this way for a long time now, but I wasn't born like this. Then, let me guess. You died once already. I'm not like you. I can't just die and come back to life. But you're close. I nearly died in an accident. I've been able to see these lines ever since. You likely already had the potential, but that incident was what awakened your mystic eyes of death perception. This would explain why you were able to kill me. Motherfucker died in the accident. He's supposed to be dead. Arcuette huffs a little and turns her gaze away from me. Even though she turns from me with clear distaste, I'm somewhat grateful she's no longer staring at me with those eyes of hers. Arcuette, do you know what these lines are? It's not as if I can sense them like you, but I suppose I could tell you what I've heard. What you're saying is the end of all things, the point that can easily bring forth demise. To put it simply, it's the terminus of all existence, death itself. That's pretty close to what Master told me before she gave me my glasses. The end of all things, the inevitable future of creation. All this time I didn't see it. I did everything I could not to. What are you talking about? All these lines do is indicate where it's possible to cut through them. which is exactly why they represent death. Listen, Shiki, everything has an end. The exact time something reaches its end will depend on the thing in question, but ultimately nothing is inhuman. Death isn't something that just hits you one day. It's something you are born with, one which will one day manifest. It's the law and cause and effect. Surely you must have heard of causality before. If something exists, then one day it must also cease to exist. It's the flow of atoms, the equivalent exchange of energy. It's the natural order of things, and it doesn't allow even the slightest exception. If an exception did exist, the foundations of our universe would collapse. We'd all disappear, like a bubble being popped. No way. I mean, she's bringing the universe into this? How is that relevant? It's really important. That's exactly how abhorrent your eyes are. Are you getting this? All things are predestined for annihilation. No matter how long something lives, no matter how powerful it is, even beings that have lived longer than the universe itself wouldn't be able to live forever. This fated end is what we call death. Death is present in all things from their conception, so if you have the capacity to comprehend it and your brain and eyes could tune into it, then seeing death should be entirely possible. That's the true nature of those lines, you see, Shiki. To explain it from human perspective, you're seeing predestined breaking points of atomic bonds. Or maybe they're telomeres built into being genes, which someday express its cause of death. Either way, these lines you see are where things easily die. In fact, they're death itself. The fact that you've lived like this for so long is astonishing. I can't believe you're even saying. Arkwood speaks in a detached, matter-of-fact voice. She doesn't know anything about me, so I wish she wouldn't joke around. I understand what she's saying, but that doesn't mean I have to agree with any of it. There's no way that could be real. No way that anyone could see that. But you see it, don't you? Normally a creature is killed when its throat is cut. It ceases to function as a consequence of the cut. Flipping that premise around, you could say a creature whose throat can't be cut can't be killed. Oh, this is my death we're talking about, so things are a little different. You, on the other hand, are capable of bypassing that rule. If you were to face an opponent who could prevent external factors from killing them, you would be killing them ahead of those factors. You kill them as a result, and the result is death. But it's not that they died because they were cut. In your case, you kill them, and as a result, they are cut. If you're not a monster, then what should I call you? A boy? You say they just show you some lines you can cut through, but those eyes of yours are more unique than any power I've ever heard of. You have the eyes of a grim reaper, Shiki, a god who brings an end to all things. She's right. That's exactly why I've been in denial, why I've spent so long trying to ignore the existence of these lines. The truth is, I've known for a long time. It's exactly like she says, my eyes, my life, there's nothing more than a blemish on this earth. A mistake. Ever since that day, I've borne witness to a dying world. I've been forced to know that everything I see could crumble in a mere moment. All this time, omens of death have been with me every step of the way. So what then? I could kill you too? I could kill anyone, anything? I'm dangerous, aren't I? Really? You want to give it a try then? Arkwood turns the light in the room off and moves to the window. She slides the curtains open. Outdoor light spills through the glass, allowing me to see again. The woman in white is framed by the pale moonlight. Go on then. Give it all you've got. Oh wait, can you not see the lines with your glasses on? You're sure about this? It's a peculiar thing, really. I've never taken my glasses off in front of someone before, but still I raise my hand to remove them. All of Arkwood's accusations must have put me on edge. Urged by my own frustration, I take my glasses off. Lines start to squirm and stretch across the room. The world is filled with death. Huh? I'm witnessing a miracle. I can hardly believe it. The moon shines a pearl white. The lines that have been so faint during the daytime appear to almost glow under the moonlight. But in the middle of it all, the lines of Arcue's body are so faint that if I weren't concentrating, I probably wouldn't even have noticed them. What is this? Why?
Well, you can barely see the lines, right? I'm a creature that has no death at night. So even with those eyes of yours, you probably couldn't kill me right now. Though, I suppose you might be able to see them faintly, huh? I can't be killed at night, but it isn't out of the question during the day. I managed to capitalize on that weakness. I just come back from a big job. So, my resistance to instantaneous death must have been lower than usual. And since you've already killed me once, I guess I'm weakened enough that even at night, I have a death. In other words, I'm not immortal right now. But what do you think, Chiki? Could you get through my lines?
I can't see a line. I'm still trying to find that thing. I wonder if I could. If there's a line, I can cut it. But looking at her now, I'm not sure if I could slice through her as easily as I did then. In a fraction of a second. I think it'd be hard. The lines are fading in and out of my vision, so it'd be impossible to make a clean cut unless you were asleep or something.
Exactly. That's your biggest weak point. Even if you can see death, you still need to trace those lines yourself.
I may be weak now, but I'm still not slow enough that you can catch me. She's right. I couldn't even keep up with a speedy animal, let alone catch one. And if I can't catch my prey first, then there's no way I'm cutting through its lines either. Which means, even if I see the lines, I can't kill something that moves. Just as her words alleviate my deepest fears, the vampire laughs. Right, it's funny. It's all a big conforming joke. No matter how many hypotheticals she makes, or how many of my flaws are pointed out, nothing will change the way I see the world. I'm broken. I'm something that shouldn't get mixed in with the rest of this world. But despite that, when I'm faced with this incredible, impossible being, it feels like everything I've taken for granted gets thrown out the window. She's like a magnificent flower caressed by the moonlight. It's not like I wanted eternity. All I wanted was for something I could touch. Something that could give me the hope I needed to keep living. Ouch. A sharp pain stabs up my brain. The lines make my head throb. I put my glasses back on and I trade my miraculous view for the ordinary world. Arcue's eyes me suspiciously. What is it now?
Oh, nothing. You can't see the lines when you wear those glasses?
Yeah, basically. Someone I met shortly after my accident gave them to me. I only use the lenses now, thanks to these I've been able to live a relatively normal life. That line is way too hard to read.
Makes sense.
No matter how mentally strong you are, facing death on a constant basis is bound to drive you insane. You'd have gouged your eyes out by now. Listen, could you stop casually spouting horrifying stuff like that? And quit getting so close, seriously. Stop it! Get away from me! Keep stepping closer, and so help me, I'll throw this vase at you. I retreat, sensing an impending danger. But my threat falls on deaf ears. Arcueid can sometimes resemble a giant cat, one whose curiosity isn't easily sated.
Hey, can I look at them?
No way, these are important to me.
It's not like I'm gonna break them. Come on, I just want a teensy little peek. Pretty please?
Why is she talking like that? Relent and hand them over.
Arkwood doesn't look like she'll back down. Besides, if she gets any closer, there's a good chance we'll wind up wrestling for these glasses. And she'll absolutely win if it comes down to that. Fine, take them. But listen, you're giving them back as soon as we're done. I pass my glasses to Arkwood. She purses her lips as she inspects the glasses from all angles. Then she pauses and looks up at me. Chiki, does the person who gave you these live in the city here? I don't think so. It's been 7 years since we last met, and she didn't strike me as the kind of person to stay in one place for long. Good. If you were unwanted parties in the mix, the better. And it's really for the best not to get mixed up with Blue. A stern expression graces her face as she falls silent. Arkwood, do you know Master? I mean, the person who made these glasses? Of course. She's one of only 4 magicians currently in existence. So we got Alice, we got Aoko. I'm still trying to figure out the other 2. Are we counting Toko? We call it 2.5. These glasses are extraordinary, you know? Even I can't break them with my current strength. Arkwood's tone grows more serious. Wait, you were trying to break them? Huh? Did I say that out loud? I knew it! I huff at her to give them back and wrench the glasses out of her hand. Didn't you just say I'd go insane without these? Or is that exactly what you wanted? It's not like I was trying to make you go crazy. I just didn't like how precious you seemed to you for some reason. I really have no idea how vampires think. The girl was ready to destroy my one lifeline on a whim. Whatever, just don't even think of trying to pull something like that again. They're not just precious memento from Master, they're the one thing keeping me sane. Without them, the constant headache alone would be enough to do me in. I suppose seeing death all the time would strain your brain. I bet there's an interesting connection between your eyes and those glasses, but I'll leave it at that for now. I'll tell you more about it some other time, though. No, thanks. Sorry, but I don't enjoy long conversations. Really? I think talking to people is a lot of fun. Even if my words can only get half of what I want to say across, it still makes my heart flutter. Arkwood beams an honest, unreserved smile. It really looks like the simple act of conversing is enough to make her happy. The night drags on. Arkwood is seated on the bed. I'm on the sofa, aimlessly staring at the clock. It's just past 4 a.m. Only an hour or so till sunrise. 1 more hour, huh? Nothing out of the ordinary has happened so far, and Arkwood doesn't look like the slightest bit nervous. The hotel is perfectly peaceful. I've been pretty nervous myself, but it's starting to look like it didn't need to be. I'm gonna go get some water for my throat, because changing these voices back and forth is starting to strain it. It's nice having a feeling that the night will pass uneventful like this. Hey, Shiki! For the upteenth time this night, Arkwood calls out my name. What is it? I'm pretty sure we're out of conversation topics by now. Really? It feels like a shame to sit in silence when we have time to talk. Yeah, well, I can't keep up with your chatter anymore. It's been 6 hours. 6 hours talking to you is even more exhausting than guard duty. To be fair, it's well past your bedtime. And way past mine. Arkwood should smeet a dissatisfied pout. It's been like this all night. For whatever reason, Arkwood just keeps talking to me. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? I don't know.
I pray not? I'm not reading that comment aloud, but all I'm saying is just, I am so baffled, so confused, and so concerned. All in one big sentence. I don't think so. Subscribe and find out. Tag along for the ride because we're here to find out one way or another. I pray not, because otherwise I'm going to have to blur that out. And the OG, some of the words he threatens. I know about... Okay. God, I pray not. He doesn't seem unhinged. He seems mostly normal. He seems like the same one between Arcuette and him right now. And yet somehow I believe that Arcuette is also relatively the only sane character. Yeah. I told her that if she's so weak, she should just get some sleep instead, but... It's more fun to talk. How did we end up like this? Huh. I really have no idea what's going through her mind. On top of that, I'm starting to get hungry. Now that I think about it, it's been nearly an entire day since I ate something. The last meal I had was yesterday's breakfast.
If you're hungry, why don't you just order something? We're staying at a nice hotel, so you might as well get some room service.
At 4 in the morning? Yeah, telling the vampire to get some sleep. Yeah, that is absolutely... It's not like she didn't just sleep from like noon to 8 in the evening. No, it's fine. The hunger keeps me on my toes. What about you, though? You're weak and refusing to rest. Shouldn't you at least eat something?
If you're not eating, then I won't either. Normal meals have their benefits, but it's so boring to eat alone.
Normal meals as opposed to... Oh. Right. She doesn't look like one, but she's still a vampire. Yep. Still a vampire. Her meals would normally consist of human blood. She said it herself. Vampires need human blood to survive. I wonder how many humans she's killed in her lifetime. I still glance at Arcuette. I just can't wrap my head around it. No matter how many times she explains the intricacies of vampires to me, I just can't imagine her drinking blood. Yeah, she really doesn't strike me as the kind. She's way too sweet and innocent. She doesn't look like one. Isn't one of the main aspects of a vampire is they look very human and are known to hunt or trick? Yes, that's exactly one of the points of being a vampire is, hey, they look like humans. They disguise themselves as humans. We got that whole bit in the exposition dump. You missed the exposition dump. There was a lot. I quickly look away. It's her turn to stare at me now. The corners of her lips pulls into a mischievous grin.
Are you curious?
About what?
About how many people's blood I've tasted?
I invoke the fifth. I am saying nothing. She saw right through me. Her happy, smug smile is enough to unsettle me. I don't like it, but I can't deny that I'm morbidly curious as to how many people she's killed. Of course I am. I'm supposed to help you out, right? If I don't know, then how am I supposed to predict when you'll have a change of heart and decide to tear me to pieces? It's a legitimate concern to have. Arcuette nods along, seemingly satisfied with my reasoning.
Alright then, let me ask you. How many people's blood do you think I've drunk? Arkwright hops off the bed with a bounce and heads back over to the window. How many? Arkwright smiles sweetly. She seems to be enjoying herself. She's clearly trying to get a rise out of me. Fine, I'll play this game. This strange woman has to have killed... I'm guessing 10 people. Last time I guessed 1,000, and now... Is 10 too few? Not even close. 1,000? Then somewhere in the hundreds? Sorry, but you're way off. In the thousands? Another swing and a miss. Arkwright chuckles softly to herself. I'm not angry with her, but I'm starting to feel very frustrated. I can't believe I'm saying this, but more than 10,000? Again, way off. Seriously, Shiki, you went from tens to thousands in a heartbeat. Do you really think so poorly of me, you big meanie? To be fair, you're a vampire. Am I wrong? I figured vampires wouldn't really have any scruples about this kind of thing. Humans eat when we get hungry too. If you need blood to survive, then you're going to take what you need, right? I mean, to be fair, I've probably had thousands of cows. Definitely thousands of fishies. And a whole lot of chickens. Yeah, that's usually the case. But you know, in the 800 years... You are 800 years old! Girl, you are 800 years old! Does this fall under lolly territory? Same. Hundreds of cows have died for my low-tier muscle mass. Mood. Frickin' one arm is bigger than the other because of frickin' surgery. And they're both limp noodles. Ah! Yes. I don't know what button I pushed. Shido and Shiki are the same now. Start with a S, meet an odd blonde woman. They are apparently ancient. I had to think for a moment about who the blonde woman was for Shido. I forgot it was Arturia. I legit forgot Arturia was like, who? Rin is black hair. Not a single chop, and I've never killed a normal human either. It's such a weird thing to hear a vampire say. But I still find myself asking the question. Are you telling me the truth? Of course. I mean, the thought of drinking blood is terrifying to me. I don't know if I should find that adorable or, like, honey, you're weak. Like, I want to say, oh, that's adorable, but at the same time, it's like, honey, you're a vampire. UBE brainwashed y'all so much people forgot that Fate Road exists. One of these days, I'm gonna do Fate. I'm going to do Fate. She's got to eat normal meals to live this long. You think it's terrifying, even though you're a vampire? Well, I'm a bit of a coward, I guess. So, let's say even now, I might only qualify as half a vampire. Arkwright utters the words as she idly glances out the window. I'm assuming you eat normal food, too, if you're a true ancestor, and don't need to drink blood to survive. She pauses to gaze at the night sky in a drawn-out moment. Or does she drink, like, animal blood? She probably drinks animal blood.
As I watch her, it feels like she's becoming less distinct, a hazy phantasm drifting away. Only half, huh? Just muttering those words provides an odd relief. Wait, does that feel like a load has been taken off my shoulders? Absolutely. Now you know she will not eat you. That's weird, right? Yep, it's definitely weird.
Is something wrong, Shiki?
Well, she mentioned she's a true ancestor. Assuming she's a true ancestor, it is possible she is a true immortal. Remember, when she survived the Shiki slashing, she likely doesn't have a conventional metabolism either. Very true. It both raises questions, and at the same time, it does make sense. She has mentioned she's a true ancestor. No, nothing. Just thinking how funny it is that you're a chicken.
Chicken? You think I'm a bird?
Arcuate tilts her head in confusion. She really doesn't look like a vampire in the slightest. It's only natural for me to be relieved. How could I not be? It turned out that the person in front of me isn't anywhere near as evil as I'd feared. If what she says is true, then there's no reason for me to worry about Arcuate spontaneously killing me. And it's not just my newfound sense of safety that is bringing me relief. There must be something wrong with me. The idea that Arcuate doesn't count herself a full-fledged vampire is what has me happiest of all. I can't believe I was so wrong about her this whole time. Huh? Just as I'm able to relax around Arcuate, I'm struck by a sharp sense of pain and vertigo. I swear this vertigo has got to be like freaking Harry's scar, and it's like a warning system of like, hey, pay attention to me. Bad shit's about to happen. Because every time this shit goes down, something crazy happens. My vision is blanketed by a white haze. This isn't the same as my anemia. I'm still thinking too clearly for that. A strange cold chill accompanies my headache.
What is it, Shiki? Your forehead's all sweaty.
What? This does not fall under that kind of territory. I can tell you right now, this does not fall under that territory. It is. I wipe the back of my hand across my forehead as I reply, and I'm met with far more wet, sticky sweat than I had anticipated. Oh, good. Clouds came in. Good. I had fucking sunlight beaming and beating my eyes over here. I was halfway tempted to put that blinds down for like 5 minutes or something. This is weird. Judging by the sweat, you'd think I was in a sauna. As if urged by the pull of anxiety welling up in my chest, my eyes dart to the digital clock. It's 4:32 a.m. Too early for the sun to beat back against the chilly night air. The clock itself still lists the current temperature outside as cool as 11 degrees Celsius. It's way too cold for me to start breaking sweat like this. 11 degrees Celsius, so that's 99 divided by 5. That comes out to 9. So basically 52 degrees. That's not too cold. It's a joke by some Nasu fans. We call Shiki that since without context he genuinely seems... Try thinking about what he does without referring to his mystic eyes. He still doesn't seem to have any of the symptoms, from my understandings. The symptoms are very different than what he's got. I'd have to understand like what symptoms they're showing, because outside of like throbbing headache and like saying of lines, it's like, okay, congratulations, there's one, but those aren't really the biggest symptom. That's like a weak symptom at best. So then why does this room feel like I'm standing outside on a hot summer day? Arcuid, are you feeling hot?
Huh? Not really. I mean, it's only 38 degrees.
That's nothing. I might be weakened, but I think I should still be able to hold out 3,000 degrees or so. Don't just... I hate how she just casually says stuff like this. No, you don't just tell a person, yeah, I can survive for about another 3,000 degrees. And you're speaking in Celsius, too. Can we just address that? You're speaking in Celsius, so it's like, just, surface of the sun, perfectly fine. I'm an idiot for even asking. Did she say 3,000 degrees Celsius so you could throw a vampire on a grill and it still wouldn't burn? No, you could throw it on the surface of the sun and they'd be fine. A grill to them is a tanning bed, apparently. Yeah, the man who gets throbbing headaches, strong urges, feels and sees things that are not visible or real, and of course can get very violent. I guess that's fair. That's fair. No, this isn't the time to be thinking about that. The digital display still lists the temperature at 11 degrees. So either the clock is malfunctioning or my body is. I search the room for another thermometer. What the hell? As I scan the room, my gaze becomes transfixed on the monitor displaying a live feed of the hotel lobby. Fire! Is that fire? I can hardly believe my eyes. It's something you'd only see in a movie. Well, we're seeing it in a video game, and there's a puppy! Flames spread through the lobby like water spilling on a sink. Mixed in the thick black smoke, I see a humanoid silhouette. It gives me the impression of a massive predator, a carnivore that eats those like it. Arcuid! Arcuid remains silent. Is it hostility I read in her expression? No, it's something more like contempt. The two of us must be entering very different thoughts as we stare at this monitor. It takes less than a minute for the lobby to be entirely engulfed in the sea of flames. The fire alarm doesn't ring. The digital thermometer still hasn't changed, but my body is drenched in sweat and simply breathing the hot, dry air is enough to parch my throat. There's no time to think. They're here. Those flaming corpses from before have come to the hotel. Shit! I make a run for the window to inspect the situation outside. The town looks the same as ever. The hotel is bathed in flame, but nobody outside seems to have noticed a thing. I got one question. Is the fire real or not? Because if the hotel's on fire, people outside are absolutely going to notice and be calling 911. Or whatever the one is in Japan. I don't know. It's not 119. Or 991. I don't know. Not the point. Point is this fire real? Yeah, I can get the joke now. There's no sign of aid rushing to the hotel, nor any humans frantically trying to escape the fire. Arcuid, what the hell is going on here? Arcuid keeps her mouth firmly shut, unwilling to say a word. Time simply passes. The temperature feels like it's getting hotter by the second. My skin feels like it could burn any minute. I don't know what things are like outside our room, nor do I have any idea what things are like on the floors below. All I know is the awful, ominous feeling gripping my chest, telling me that it's already too late. Arcuid is still silent. Is it because she's worried or frustrated? Voice switching is hard on the throat. Her arms are crossed like she's hugging herself, or maybe she's trying to hold herself back. She said she wouldn't leave this room. She said she didn't have the power right now. In which case, what did I come here for? I'm saving? Because I remember dying here last time. I should go outside and investigate. Here I go. I take a short, deep breath to clear my head. I search for something I could use as a weapon, but a quick survey of the room doesn't give me anything. I swallow my hesitation, take my knife from my bag, and head for the door. Chiki! I'm just going to scope things out. Don't leave the room until I get back. Agwe looks like she wants to say something, but I tear my gaze away and head into the hallway. It's dark. I guess the lights must have malfunctioned. The only light I see in the faraway glow from the it's a faraway glow from the elevator hall. My throat burns more now. The very air is thick and scraping against me like sandpaper. The silence in the hallway is unsettling. You could hear a pin drop. There isn't a single sign of life. No blank running in terror. There is not a single word that you could absolutely put there that would require you to bleep that out. Not with the language you've used. The last time you bleeped stuff out, absolutely. But here, I cannot put a word there. No burnt. I mean, corpses, zombies. The utter silence is making me question what I saw in the monitor just now. Everything seems normal. I walk through the hallway. Sweat forms into beads and runs down my forehead. It's so quiet, I'm starting to feel that I'm the intruder here. Intruder, intruder, intruder. Normally you'd exterminate any pests that intrude a place like this. It's all I can do to calm myself down. I readjust my grip on the knife so the sweat doesn't make it slip from my palm. I feel nauseous. There's a pressure near my temples. Somewhere between my eyes and my brain, my nerves experience a strange pull. It's as if my eyes are trying to crawl into my brain cavity, or maybe my brain's trying to swallow my eyes. I bite back against the dull, aching pain as I traverse through the heat wave blasting me from all sides. My eyes grow heavy. My eyelids feel like they're gaining mass. My body sways, I might just pass out. I know the feeling well. It's how I feel just before I collapse from anemia. It hurts. The pain is so unbearable I have to take off my glasses. I look in the direction of the elevators. Well, that was probably the smartest decision he made. If you're going into combat, take them off. This corridor is so long. I got to be more than 20 meters to the elevator from here. It's too far, I tell myself. Go back to the room. What is this? A few more steps and there will be no more going back. A clear sound. The gentle chime of the elevator shatters the silence, as if to herald the destruction of this pure, empty space devoid of life. A foreboding chill stops me in my tracks. My eyes are pulled towards the unwanted intrusion. The small elevator light stops. It has arrived at its destination. I can see the line stretching across the elevator door in the distance. Though, shrouded by so many a dense web of them, I can barely see the door. Just don't hurt the puppy! The door is open. I peer inside the cramped metal box. The inside is overflowing with flesh, the flesh of things that were alive until a moment ago. If there's one thing I've learned about this game is have my webcam ready, because this game likes its gore. Jesus Christ. My breathing ceases. Just like my brain refuses to process the things I'm seeing, so do my lungs abandon their duty. I stare at the scene within the elevator. The thick chunks of red meat are packed tight as they can be within the metal box. In the middle of it all are two dogs tearing at their morbid feast. My vision turns red. With a nauseating switching noise, a gelatinous mass of meat oozes out of the elevator. What? I need like just a moment real quick. There's descriptions of this. A sea of blood, carcass, bone, brain, fingers, and viscera. The pool of carnage only houses two living residents, the dogs. We're gonna hurt the puppies! The puppies are terrifying! I never thought I'd fear a puppy! The rational part of my brain refuses to accept the scene as reality. I'm refusing to accept that I'm reading what I'm reading right now! At the end of the hallway, the dogs are still digging into the mutilated cadavers. Terrible new sounds travel up through the elevator shaft. Discordant screams spill into the hallway. If I strain my ears, I can just make out the sounds of flesh being gnawed on. Intermingled with the shrieks of despair, so anguished they hardly sound human. It feels like my hearing has found a shortcut to my imagination. Even though I can't see it with my eyes, the carnage is all too clear in my mind's eye. People being burned. Okay! We gone back to burning people alive, apparently. People being eaten alive. Yep! A man notices the unusual temperature and leaves his room to flee. The second he opens the door, he is enveloped by a hellish fire that roasts him to the bone. A young girl sobs in despair, locked into her room when the flames from the lobby reach her floor. She is in the bathtub. The water steams and bubbles, boiling her alive, turning her ruptured flesh to ash from the inside out. Okay, so the fire is real. He's hearing the people on the bottom floor, below. And we got two dogs eating people. Yep. Nasu looked at Mahoyo and went, dial it to 11. You thought Witch of the Holy Night was terrifying? Yeah, let me just amplify this. I'm over here having watched Jigsaw movies and freaking slasher films and was like, yeah! Nightmare fuel now. This is probably one of the most discomforting things I've ever read. Many clamor to get into an elevator that arrives. Inside, they find it already packed with the bodies of those who tried to escape before. By the time the newcomers realize those present are no longer human, they are already being consumed. Lovely! There are two types of screams. Those born from the fear of being eaten, and those born from the fear of being burned alive. There are no exceptions. The small elevator is a microcosm of what the hotel has become. The vision of hell is so close I can feel the agony flush against my skin. No amount of fate stay night could prepare you for this. No amount. I saw UBW. That UBW never prepared me mentally for this. I want to throw up, but I can't. If I did, I'd become part of this horrible ocean of red. Yeah, I feel like throwing up too. Thank you. Thank you. I feel like throwing up too. I force my body to remember how to breathe. I grind my teeth together to regain a sense of control. The dogs notice me. As soon as they do, all sound from the floors below stops. And 4 words come out of my mouth. Get the fuck out. That can only mean one thing. No one else is alive. The dogs break into a sprint toward me. I'm the only prey left within their hunting grounds. The black hounds approach me. Their bodies are marked with countless lines.
but they're no use to me now. My mind is too paralyzed to do anything. I can't decide whether to fight or flee. I vote on fleeing! One of the dogs leaps. No human could even come close to matching its speed. It covers the 20 meters of the hallway in less than 2 seconds. Its maw opens wide. Sharp, saw-like teeth reach for my throat. The dog's moments are fast and deadly efficient. The second my mind manages to process that it is leaping at me, the beast closes its fang around my neck with a terrible gnashing sound. This is where Shikitono dies. No, that isn't right. This won't kill me. I won't die here. Seeing death isn't new to me. It was a hot summer day. It feels so long ago, yet it was merely 7 years. Back then I witnessed something far more horrifying. Stab! I thrust my knife into the forehead of the dog that tried to gnaw at my throat. As if on autopilot, my arm swung up the second the monster canines touched my skin before it could pierce my carotid artery. I surprised even myself. Like a machine whose... this is probably fine. Machine whose only function is cutting and slicing, I thread the knife through the dog's forehead with mechanical precision. It comes easy as I am merely cutting through one of the dog's lines. Normally, destroying an animal's brain would cause its body to cease function immediately. The muscles would move and spasm in response to the brain's final signals, carrying out the last commands of to the best of their ability. Even if I tore my blade straight to the dog's head, its fangs would still tear through my neck. But this is different. I didn't just kill the dog, I brought it death. Death means total cessation. No matter how monstrous the dog was, it lost every ounce of power the second I killed it. It falls limply to the ground. The second dog is already lunging toward me in its place. I stab the knife through its wide-open jaw. My blade buries into its wet flesh. The skin of the dog may be oddly tough, but its insides are soft and yielding, its flesh and bone having long rotted. But I messed up this time. This dog's lines aren't on its head. They're all congregated around its chest. I might have managed to stab it, but the damage done is little more than a flesh wound. The knife has pierced the dog's maw, reaching the back of its head, which naturally means that the hand holding the knife is now fully enveloped by the creature's mouth. The dog is still very much alive. It clamps its jaw around my outstretched arm. I feel its strain as it pulls against the soft cartilage between my hand and the wrist. Any moment now, it'll tear straight through the flesh. The pain is enough to snap me back to reality. This fucking hurts. What the hell am I doing? I'm getting my arm torn to shreds just to stick a knife into a dog's mouth. You piece of... I struggle and squirm, trying to wrench my arm out of its vice-like grip. As something gnashes at my arm, an intense pain shoots up through my nerve like a firework. Its teeth feels like they're stuck deep within my arm, but it's awfully lively for something with a knife in its skull. The dog presses its weight against me, toppling both of us and pinning me down against the carpet. My back is driven hard against the floor, but even now its grip on my arms hasn't loosened one bit. With my knife still plunged deep in its head, the black dog tightens its jaw firmly. It's going to rip off my arm. This is insane. What kind of dog keeps biting down in a situation like this? Damn you! Something warm and wet drips down my elbow. Red blood is dribbling down from the dog frenzy quivering lips. It might be the dog's blood trickling down my arm from the knife. Or it might be my blood flowing freely as the dog tries to render my arm into mincemeat. To my scrambled brain, it doesn't matter much. Okay, I need to just take a moment. Okay. In Mahoyo, in Witch on the Holy Night, we had a werewolf, dolls that cause nightmare, and is the most horrifying thing I've ever seen in my world. In Fate Stay Night, we had nothing like this.
And now we have zombie dogs hunting me, biting into my arm, and we're fighting them. What? Okay, I'm so glad that no one warned me of horror. I went into this thinking it's going to be like freaking either Fate Stay Night or Witch on the Holy Night, like maybe minimal horror, and we're over here like, yeah, you saw slasher films and we went, that's cute. Yeah, slasher films are adorable compared to what we're going to put you through. Let me go. The dog refuses to release its prize. There's no way I can run with the dog still clinging into my arm. Not that running away was ever an option to begin with, nor did I have any intention of doing so. I just want to survive, and in order to survive, was only ever one condition. Kill. All I have to do is kill. But how do I do that? It won't be long till one of my arms gets chewed off. The arm is still gripping the knife. The full weight of the dog has me trapped against the carpet. Even if I managed to pull my arm free, chances are the dog would have its jaw around my neck with it the very next second. The desperate circumstances force a weak chuckle to escape my lips. I just need some time to assess the situation. Some time to really think it through. That's how I've always done things. That's how I was taught. Like, look, see how there are plenty of lines running along the back of the dog's head? The path to survival is blindingly clear. This is a wild beast, a monster that devours humans. But when it's this close to me, I'm painfully aware that it's wildly beating heart and burning with its own desire to live. It clamps down on my arm even harder than before. I'm such an idiot. I'm so stupid. I wish it was me tearing my own throat out. It's kill or be killed, a natural universal law. So why? Why does this supposed cruelty of the action give me so much pause? A thick drop of blood slashes against my face. I love how the dumb decision was the one that got us safe. And we're still over here getting killed. I'm sitting here going, am I dying now? Did they just extend the death scene? Red fluid drips down my forehead into my eyes. The vision is painted a deep, dark crimson. It burns itself into my retinas until red is all I can see. The warm, vicious liquid strikes me as oddly familiar. My consciousness slowly slips away from me. Even so, I can't kill something that's alive. Hypocrite. You've already killed something much bigger than some mutt. They just love re-bringing me back to this moment. They love putting this back on me. Oh, that's right. But that time was different. With Arcued, Shikitono wasn't thinking clearly at all. Even when I killed the big dog, it was as if my body moved on its own without my input. But this time, it requires me to make a conscious decision. Didn't Master tell you, Shiki? To use this power for yourself and not for anyone else. That's why, as long as I stay who I am, as long as I remain a decent human being, I will never take any life for granted. Hypocrite. You've done it all before? Long ago. Wait, that wasn't a dream. That actually happened? This moment happened? A bad dream from my childhood. Look what's holding your back now. It was a hot summer day. It's kill or be killed. Before me is the figure of a young boy drenched in blood. My hands are stained with warm red blood. Killed before, haven't you? I stab. Rather than extract my arm, I instead bury it deeper as I slice through the beast's skull. A pain shriek echoes in my eardrums. Unable to cry out properly with my arm jammed down its throat, the dog's wail resembles a woman's shrill scream. I must be in tremendous pain. Not that it matters. I drive the knife deeper inside, together with my mangled arm. The blade pokes out from the back of the dog's skull. I split the skull and effortlessly slice through the hide, scattering gobs of blood and brains across the carpet. This description is wonderfully vivid. Thank you for putting that image in my head that I did not ask for. Before I know it, I thrust both my knife and my arm cleanly through the back of the dog's skull. And yet, it still lives. There's only one thing left for me to do. I take the knife from my bloodied right hand and move it to my left. The impaled dog's body trembles and squirms, seemingly pleading for mercy. And he has none. It even stops digging its fangs into my flesh as if to show remorse. Like I fucking care. I run my blade through the beast's lines and quickly dismantle its body. I look down at that which it was once filled with life. The limp body no longer protests as I finally remove my arm from its maw. The hell? You hardly even bit me. I take a look at my bloodied arm. My school uniform has been torn to shreds, but the gouges in my flesh aren't even a centimeter deep. The deluge of blood dripping down my arm earlier must have belonged to the dog. It doesn't even hurt that badly anymore. My fear must have clouded my mind and amplified the pain in the heat of the moment. I'm still lying down on the floor, staring at the ceiling. My head hurts so much. My world is a patchwork stitched together by these lines of death. Though my limbs are freezing cold, my mind is spinning with a fever. Who looked at Twilight and said, "Let's make it a horror"? The corpses of the two dogs are right beside me. One of my arms is covered in blood, while the other still clutches the reddened knife. Beneath this floor are the mangled and charred corpses of the victims that died in the pandemonium. There's nothing I can do but laugh, because this isn't real. It can't possibly be real. I'm normal! Totally normal! The only weird thing here is this dream. The second I wake up, it's all gonna go away. But when did I start dreaming with my eyes open? The elevator chimes. Such a cute, clear noise, entirely inappropriate for the current situation. The elevator adjacent to the one that brought the dogs. My exhausted brain doesn't even try to contemplate what this means. The doors open. My mind might not be working, but my body will have to. In a dull haze, I grip the knife of my right hand and haul myself up to face the oncoming tragedy. I don't want to do this. I wearily gaze inside my newly arrived elevator. Inside it is nothing. It's completely empty. A bit of an anticlimax in its own way. The danger is past. Everything over, and I've already gotten a grasp of the situation on the lower floors. Which means there's no reason for me to stick around here. I turned to leave when... Someone! Anyone! Please! Anyone! I hear a woman's voice. She sounds so desperate. It almost seems out of touch with reality. Her pleading screams grow in volume, accompanied by panicked footfalls. There's no mistaking it. It must be a survivor out of breath, and she frantically works her way up the stairwell next to the elevators. Oh, thank God! This place isn't on fire yet. She sounds relieved, but she doesn't slow her pace. Within moments, I can see her spilling from the stairwell and into the hallway. You! Hey, you! She starts running again as she takes note of me. Thank God, there's someone else here. I'm saved. Her expression, overcast and pale with fear, is lit up by a flash of joy as her eyes focus on me. A white-gloved hand seizes her, ripping her from salvation and back into hell.
No, please, no!
Still watching me, the woman begs for help. Jeez. And then she falls silent. No resistance, no constraints that bind her. The second she's grabbed, she loses consciousness as if it were a dream, and she was snapped awake, leaving only her body behind. Stop. Stop this at once. That woman, she has nothing to do with this. She's just a sweet, innocent girl. Preying on her is... Stop! My cries come too late. Not that they would have changed anything. My eyes are fixated on that woman's neck. Starry orbs of light flicker and scatter within my vision. Rage like never before boils in my chest. My vision clears, and I see two soulless pits amid the deluge of blood. The woman's legs twitch ever slightly, her fingers jolting reflexively. All emotion, all life drains from her face. It has to be the first time I've seen it happen, but I don't need to be familiar with the sight to comprehend the horrific spectacle in front of me. The drinking and gulping of the monster is almost unnaturally loud against the otherwise silent hall. When it's at its fill, the monster discards her body without a second thought. Her body wavers frail like a withered tree, a ballerina tiptoeing the fine line between life and death. I gaze at her pitiful form. The woman is totally silent. The only sound is that of rushing blood. Then her back splits open. In a single moment, a fountain of blood erupts. The vampire sighs in relief as she bathes in the scarlet shower. In an instant, everything around me changes. The sweltering temperature finally seems to match up with reality. A dam of fire bursts, flooding out all at once. The hallway is absolutely enveloped by flames. A heat presses against me, singing and stinging at my skin like claws. If I were to take a breath now, I'd surely burn my lungs. But something is strange here. The flames continue licking at their surroundings, and yet the building isn't on fire. As the only thing still alive here, I'm the only one left to feel this inferno. My headache intensifies. The man begins walking my way. It's clear he's the source of the river of flames. The closer he gets, the more terrible the heat becomes. He's still 15 meters away from me. But even at this distance, it's impossible for me to breathe. I realize that nothing can survive in this man's vicinity. The proximity alone would lead to certain incineration. The shadow continues onward in my direction. He's lean and tall, wearing antiquated clothes topped by a heavy fur cloak. Though this figure may be human-like, everything about him screams that he's anything but. There's something off about him, something wild and crazed. Only 13 meters now. He continues without a sound. I glare at the man, knife firmly in my hand. He doesn't respond. I'm starting to wonder if he can even see me. 10 meters. I train my eyes on his body. Amid the rising flames, I can finally see the lines of death that cover him. My brain feels like a soup boiling over on an open flame. What is that? A dense, intricate torrent of death swirls at the center of it all. At the center of the torrent is an odd glimmer, bright and shining like a precious jewel. My head hurts too much to keep staring at it. It's like how staring straight into the sun will burn your retinas. There's no way I can directly stare at his core for too long. If I don't steel myself, my brain itself might rupture at the sight of it. 8 meters. He draws ever closer. The temperature rises enough to cook through human flesh. 6 meters. The man stops. His focus falls on me. It took him this long to notice me standing there. I met his gaze. I shouldn't make eye contact. Arkwright's words of warning ring clearly in my ears. But I can't tear my eyes away. I can't ignore the abyss before me. He's different. His eyes can't be the mystic eyes Arkwright was talking about. These are entirely fundamentally different. They aren't eyes that blind the viewer. They're just filled with madness. The eyes of one who has lost his mind. A madman, a poor, helpless man driven crazy by his own impulses. A man just like me. My instincts scream at me to get out of danger. Every alarm in my body tells me this is bad news. But my body won't move, not even as much as a single finger trip. A danger signals fire through my sin passes. No matter the cost, I have to get away from him. If I don't, it'll be the end for me. But I'm too late. The creature with sickly eyes stare at me, but barely pays me any notice. From its outstretched hand unfolds a fire that'll burn me alive. I'm going to die. This fire is as real as it's terrifying. Different from the blue flames that flooded the hall, there was some sort of byproduct and effect it was cause. They could swallow you alive, but you wouldn't die immediately. They'd scorch you with some awful phantom pain that feeds off life itself. These flames are different. Just getting close enough to char the skin, enough to burn all organic matter to ashes. The fire engulfs me from all sides like a claw seizing its prey. It will cleave my body in two, neatly cauterizing the flesh where it's ripped apart. The only thing more real than this fire is my fate. Yet, just before I die, my body is flung backwards with a snap. Arqued? The name creaks from my throat. My mind goes blank. I have a rough understanding of what just transpired. Arqued pulled me back before stepping in front of me to absorb the blow from the sinister fiery hand. What I don't understand is why she did it. Wasn't I supposed to be her shield? So why is she getting hurt to protect me instead? Arqued's face scrunches up in pain. The man hits her with a flaming claw again and again. This time she doesn't have to pull me out of the fire's way. Arqued swings her right hand like she did in the alley, baiting the flames away. But she's unable to extinguish the flames entirely, and the lingering embers strike her head on. Does that mean even Arqued could be burned if she took the full brunt of these flames? Are they hot enough to kill even her, this woman with barely any lines on her, who's supposed to be so far removed from death? This chapter's gonna have to be a two-parter. The entire clash lasts less than 5 seconds. The two exchange a dozen blows each way. I don't understand why, but when they're done, the man solemnly lowers his arm. He stares at Arqued intently, not saying a single word. Arqued glares back bitterly as she clutches her red abdomen. The man has eyes for nothing but Arqued. He doesn't even care that I'm here, safe behind Arqued's protective figure clutching a knife. Vapor slips from the man's lips. His breath is heavy like it's being pushed through an exhaust pipe as he reaches with his left hand to find something beneath its coat. I hear a faint metallic clink. It's got to be some kind of blade. He's hiding a large object beneath his coat, the same object he used to rend through my back of that woman. He turned her into a fountain of blood. He takes one step closer to Arqued, his weapon still carefully concealed beneath his coat. Insolent boar, insolent boar! Only a swine would fail to speak their name before battle. Or did your sire neglect to teach you the most basic level of decorum? The man stops in his tracks. A light flickers behind his hollow eyes as if he's only just remembering himself. I don't even know what language Arqued used, but the man clears his throat, composing himself. His voice carries a current of pain. He had forgotten he were a living being until just now. I know the proper decorum. I merely possess no name to share with you. You may be lacking in etiquette, but at least you still show shame. So, you've lost your original name. Surely there's some way to address you, though. You may have only just inherited the title, but you're still an ancestor. The atmosphere of the hall shifts. The azure flames well up around the corridor, burning even brighter. It looks like Arquid hit a sore spot. Belov. A pained expression paints his face. Belov Archangel. He declares his name.
Can't say I've heard of you. Since I've got no record of you, I doubt you are a legitimate successor. Did your sire destroy themselves?
No, it was I who dispatched my liege.
So, you've only just become an ancestor. Have you come to make a name for yourself by killing me next?
Prestige and glory are found within the heart. I take only that which I desire.
I admire your courage, but you should focus on me alone. You're kind of overdoing it here.
No, this city is tainted. If I am to follow my creed, I must cleanse this place in flame.
Really? So you're just a third-rate dead apostle, no better than a barbarian?
I am aware of my own crudeness. Princess of the true ancestors, surrender your heart to me. The area around Vlov twists with a simmering heat. Like a river bursting through its banks, the fire rushes in our direction. Arquid stands in front of me like a breakwater holds back the flood from swallowing me whole.
Don't move, Shiki. These flames are his weapon. If you want to be more than a pile of ash, by the time this is over, you'd better stay well behind me. I appreciate her warning, but something about her words strike me as odd. This is his weapon. Is she really sure about that? I mean, after creating these high temperatures, he's still... No, this isn't the time to think about that. I tightly grip the knife in my hand. He's coming. The hallway is now a cavern of flame. Vlov pulls the blade from his coat. Huh? For some strange reason, Vlov suddenly turns his back towards us. He strides down the hall and leisurely enters the elevator, leaving us behind as if nothing had happened. What? Okay, now I officially don't understand a goddamn thing. I don't understand those dogs. I don't understand those flames that covered the hallway. And I don't understand the waking nightmare that attacked the hotel. Shiki.
Arquid slumps against me with a thud. She's got a nasty wound. It looks like she's managed to stop the bleeding, but her face is controlled in pain. It's still fresh. After all, she's only just received the wound while she was shielding me from certain death. I'm here. Why did you...
I may have underestimated him a little. I thought I could jump in to save you and still make light work of him afterwards. But I may have underestimated you too. That wound you gave me was no joke.
With her face still scrunched up in pain, Arquid smiles as if she were amused by her own words. I can't bear to look at her. Not only did she suffer this wound while protecting me, I'm the reason she's this weak in the first place. So why is she still smiling at me so stupidly? How am I even supposed to respond? Arquid leans against me, putting her weight on my shoulder as she closes her eyes. Hold on. Don't close your eyes, you dumbass. Pull yourself together. Aren't you some kind of super vampire who can't die at night?
Well, yeah, but it seems I might have hit my limit.
What?
Sorry, but can you help me get back to my apartment?
Arquid collapses against me. I manage to catch her just in time, arms wrapped tight around her slender body. Hold on, just one sec. If you die on me here, I'll really have no idea how to respond. Damn it! Wake up! Arquid! I shout at her, shivering. Her eyes remain closed. And she's fucking asleep. Her soft snoring sounds so content. I'm starting to feel like an idiot for being worried about her at all. I'm mad now! Yeah, my concern was wasted on her. She's not dying. She just fell asleep. Huh, sure, whatever. I'll just drag you back to all the way to home. Keep tossing around those selfish commands, why don't you? It's not like any other option, though. Can't exactly stay at the hotel when it's like this. things get difficult if we stick around the scene of a massacre. Despite everything being limited to just the hotel, as morning comes and people arrive, it'll quickly be clear what happened. My head still hurts. Dude, that hallway got fucked up in every way, shape, and form. Arquid isn't the only one who's at her limit. I put my glasses back on to at least alleviate my headache. Arquid's apartment. Right, I remember where it is now. Even though I've only visited once, I vividly recall its location. Well, no point loitering here any longer. I gather up our things from the royal suite and pull Arquid into my arms and leave my barren hotel with a feeling of shame pressing down on my shoulders. Can I reach a save point, please? It's already light outside, so that's what it was. That explains why the man left so suddenly. The sun illuminates the city with its gentle light. The night has given way to day. For now, I should just focus on getting Arquid the rest she needs. Taking a taxi is out of the question. We stand out if a pair this suspicious got into your car, you definitely remember their face. Instead, I carry Arquid as far from the hotel as I can before boarding a bus bound for Soya Station. We're lucky, given the early hour, there's no witnesses or curious onlookers to point their gaze at us. The emergency exit around the back is exactly like I left it 2 days ago. Neither the residents nor the building caretakers must have noticed the lock was broken. It's 6:30 in the morning now. I sneak into the self-proclaimed vampire's room just like I did the last time. Finally, this long mess of a day can be laid to rest. Yay! Holy shit, that thing was long. Fire and Blood 2. Are you going to be as fucking long as the last one? Okay, what in God's fucking name? How do I want to follow the different flow charts. I'm going to figure this out eventually. All right. We're not going to be meeting next week with Father's Day. I got to work. So, rest up. Enjoy the week. Enjoy Father's Day. And have a good day.